presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
Bouncer here. Cabrera. Not in time. Elvis is coming home, and the Rangers win it.
That is some kind of win right there.
Some kind of win indeed. The biggest comeback win of the year after trailing by 5, the 5th walk-off of the year. And tonight the Rangers will try to follow that act in Game 2 of this 3-game series against the Cleveland Indians. A bit of a late start because of the pregame introduction of Kenny Rogers into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame, ably emceed by my partner Tom Grieve. But as we talk about last night, it didn't start well for Elvis Andrus, a key early error. Boy, did he make up for it.
Yeah, he had another great game, and it's kind of been a trend of his that he started since he's been a big league player, how well he's played against Cleveland. He's played terrific against him this year. And look at some numbers on him. Hit safely in all 18 career games, hit 3 of his 9 home runs against them. And this year, 10 for 21, including the bunt single with 2 outs and nobody on last night. Went to second on a wild pitch, scored on a ground ball to shortstop to win the game. Very exciting way to win a game, and he made it happen.
Tonight, C.J. Wilson trying again for his 11th win, trying to get back on track after not looking like himself the last couple of times out. Fausto Carmona will be on the mound for the Indians. C.J. Wilson attended 5, Game 2 of the 3-game series. Coming up next. And drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By Jack in the Box. Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Another good crowd on hand. Game 2. It will be somewhere around the 105 degrees for last night's first pitch. And down there we welcome Rick Renner.
Hey, guys, want to mention everybody that Emily, of course, I'm filling in for her. Baby and mom are doing just fine, thank you. What an exciting win last night. You guys just talked about it. Elvis's winning run in the 11th inning wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Michael Young's clutch 2-out, 2-run bomb to tie the game in the 9th inning. He's got used to doing this kind of thing.
The biggest thing is I know I'm facing a good pitcher. Since you got to lock it in a little bit more because of that. They got a good team, really good bullpen, and I think the biggest thing is I'm comfortable in that situation, but I'm not trying to do too much. I wasn't trying to hit a homer. I was just trying to bring Nelly up to the plate. Josh did a good job, got me up there. I wanted to keep the line moving a little bit, and fortunately it worked out.
That's our Geico quote. You know, you look at Michael, he's had so many clutch hits over the years since he approaches 2,000 hits, just 3 hits away. And don't forget, he had a couple big hits that were clutch hits in 2 different all-star games. He just continues to perform on the big stage, guys.
All right, Rick, and definitely one of the more memorable moments of the year. And again, it was bottom of the 9th, 2 out. Hamilton had reached on a single, and then Chris Perez on a 2-0 pitch sees that one elude the leap of Ezekiel Carrera, who had made several circus catches out in center field. So suddenly, from 7-2 down, it's 7-7, headed to extra innings. And then Hamilton and Andrews combining for the heroics in the bottom of the 11th. One more look at this. After bunting his way on with 2 outs in the 11th.
Yeah, not a hard hit ball. That's the key. Cabrera was playing deep, had to charge it. Josh beat the throw, and Elvis never stopped.
Also key that he had advanced to second on a wild pitch by Perez. Otherwise, no way he comes home. Talking with him before the game, he said he was thinking home when he left second base, and when he glanced and saw Laporta turn and look at the umpire, he knew he was home free, ball game over. That's exactly how it turned out. We saw Josh Hamilton do that from second base a couple times last year, scoring on an infield hit. So Josh on the other end last night and tonight. Our Southwest Airlines Indian starting lineup, very different look. Michael Brantley leading off in center field tonight. The rookie Jason Kipnis again batting second and playing second. Asdrubal Cabrera at shortstop again batting third. Travis Hafner in the lineup tonight. Cleanup hitting DH. Carlos Santana moves from catcher to first. Kosuke Fukudome is in right field. Shelley Duncan homered last night. He starts in left field with Lonnie Chisenhall, another rookie at third. And Lou Marson batting ninth at catcher. And another shot at win number 11 tonight for C.J. Wilson.
You're right. He's 10-5. His ERA has gone up a little bit in his last 2 starts that haven't gone very well. 8th in the league in strikeouts, 10th in innings pitched. Go back to the game at Cleveland back on June 5th. 7 2/3, 3 hits, didn't give up a run. That was a good game for the Rangers, a 2-0 win. CJ's last 2 starts, Minnesota and Toronto. Total of only 7 2/3 innings, 14 hits. He's walked 7 guys in those 7 2/3. It just has not been like CJ the last 2 games, and he needs to get back on track tonight because the bullpen needs a long outing from CJ.
Ron Washington said he wouldn't actually say it to CJ, but it's because he figures CJ Wilson already knows this is a night where he needs to go minimum 6-7 innings, because that group last night went 9 1/3, allowing 1 run on 6 hits. Day before, Toronto 2 2/3 shutout innings. And Scott Feldman not available today or tomorrow. Outfield for the Rangers, Murphy in left, Hamilton in center, Cruz in right with Young, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland the infield. And Torrealba is behind the plate. But Mike Napoli's bat is in the lineup. He is the DH. So Michael Brantley set to get in and lead us off here in the first inning. Brantley batting .272, 6 homers, 41 runs batted in.
Well, that's what you want to see. A lot of strikes tonight.
It is a record hot start in Rangers ballpark at Arlington history. 106 degrees, beating the record by 1 degree, which was again tied last night. 106 tonight for a first pitch. Darryl Cousins is behind the plate. He is the crew chief. DJ Rayburn at first, Angel Campos at second, and Jim Wolf umpiring at third. And lifted to shallow right. That's a long run for Cruz, but he gets there.
Good fastball by CJ. Got it in on Brantley's fists. The Indians have 4 left-hand hitters in their lineup. Brantley and Kipnis to start the game off. Hafner's a left-hand hitter. Fukudome, a left-hand hitter. Cabrera and Santana are switch hitters.
Jason Kipnis last night singled and scored in the first, drove in a run in the second on a ground out. Later stole a base, and he looks at strike one. Kipnis, second round draft pick in 2009 out of Arizona State. Pac-10 Player of the Year.
Should say 5 left-hand hitters. Haven't seen much of Lonnie Chisenhall, but he's a left-hand hitter as well.
Kipnis, just 24, native of Northbrook, Illinois. Up the middle. Flag down by Andrews, the spin, but the throw pulls Mitch Moreland off the bag, and Kipnis has himself an infield hit. Impressive by Andrews to even get to that ball, flagging it down well behind second base.
As far as he went to get this, with that turn and the way his momentum's going to right field, it's kind of a shot in the dark to be able to throw this ball accurately to first base. If he did, he had a slight chance to get him. Would have been a spectacular play.
Kipnis with some speed at AAA Columbus this year, 12 out of 13 in stolen bases. And the first pitch to Cabrera is down low. Starting American League All-Star shortstop this year. 1 for 4 last night, scored twice. He reached on the Andrews error in the second. That was followed by the 2-run double by Carlos Santana. A couple of unearned runs that chased Derek Holland. 19 home runs. He had 18 in his career before this year. Out in front of that one, 2-1.
Looking for a fastball and didn't see it.
Cabrera leading all American League shortstops with that home run total, and runs batted in with 65, and runs scored, hits and doubles. And that one is high, and it's 3 balls and a strike. The Indians last night had to think they were finally going to get a win over the Rangers, who swept them in 4 games at Progressive Field in June. Didn't happen, and now they're 0-5 against Texas this year, and they've lost 17 of the last 20 meetings from the 09 season through last night. Just the 3rd time they lost this year, leading after 8 innings. They are now 43-3. And he acted his team right at 500 now, 55-55. As low as their record has been relative to 500. But his team was very quick out of the gate. Built as much as a 7-game lead in the Central in late May. Since then, they have lost 11 games in the standings, and the season high 4 back of Detroit beginning play tonight. And if they're watching the scoreboard, they're not happy that the Tigers already have a 3-0 lead at Kansas City, playing in the bottom of the 4th inning. Justin Verlander, 12-2 lifetime against Kansas City on the mound for the Tigers in that game, and he's allowed 1 hit through 3. Cabrera stays alive at 3-2. Travis Hafner will be next. Not in the lineup last night, not used off the bench.
Yeah, there's a couple of times in the game last night where I wouldn't have been surprised if Hafner walked out to pinch hit. CJ's throwing him everything here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sinkers, changeups, curveballs. Cabrera's hanging in there. Pretty good hitter, too. Him hanging in there is not a surprise.
9th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
That's pretty much what you didn't want to see right early in the game. CJ having to throw a lot of pitches.
This will be the 15th of the inning. Got Brantley quickly. Kipnis reached on the infield hit. Now trying to take care of Cabrera. And gets him looking.
I can't believe he took that pitch. He was fouling off everything close, and then took what looked like a pretty good pitch. Yeah, pitch right in the center of the plate.
Right on top of the 8th pitch.
Yeah, surprised he took it. Glad he did.
A little more velocity, the only difference. So there's out number 2. And here is Hafner, who was on the DL when the Rangers visited Cleveland. Spent a month there with a strained right oblique. And now 39 games off the DL. He comes in as the only 300 hitter in the Indians lineup tonight. But since the injury, getting just 256. See the shift with Andrus behind second. Kinsler out in short right. And strike 2 to Hafner.
I'm trying to remember a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Hafner was having an incredible season with about a month left to go in the season. I think it was CJ that hit him with a pitch, knocked him out for the last month of the season.
Sure, he remembers it.
CJ popping him in there at 93 miles an hour. Usually CJ tops off right around 92, a little bit higher today.
Hafner from Sikeston, North Dakota. Population 180. Outside again, it is 2-2. First 31st round pick by the Rangers as a draft and follow, 1996. Briefly in 02, 23 games that on to Cleveland. Really blocked here in Arlington by the likes of Rafael Palmeiro, Hank Blaylock, Mark Teixeira, all ahead of him at first base at that time. And another called strike 3. A 20-pitch first inning. Only the infield hit by Kipnis, and now Kinsler and the Rangers coming to bat. tonight's starting lineup. We'll begin, as usual, with Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus. Josh Hamilton is in center. Michael Young at third, with Nelson Cruz. Mike Napoli DHing. Mitch Moreland at first. Torey Alba behind the plate. David Murphy in the lineup in left field batting ninth, against struggling 27-year-old right-hander Fausto Carmona.
Yeah, he's 5-11. His ERA is over 5. More hits than innings pitched. Not a real good strikeout to walk ratio. Since coming back from the DL, he's had 3 starts. Those have gone pretty well. His ERA is under 3. Gets a lot of ground balls. Strikeout to walk ratio is not great, but ground ball to fly ball ratio is.
Very first pitch, ground ball from Kinsler to Cabrera. Indians defensively behind Carmona will line up this way with Duncan in left, Brantley in center, Fukudome in right. Chisenhall, Cabrera, Kipnis, and Santana. Very different look to their infield tonight with Marson behind the plate. So here is Elvis. Couple of hits last night. A 9-game hitting streak. And 4 for 8 against Carmona. But as we showed you, Elvis wears out just about anybody on the Cleveland mound, and has in the first 18 times he has faced the Indians in his career. He is a .420 hitter. If he gets a hit tonight, he ties the record for most consecutive games at the beginning of a career with a hit against the Indians. It's an old one back to 1933-34. The sinker by Carmona, a little bit low.
Yeah, Carmona has a losing record against the Rangers and a pretty high ERA, but he's pitched well in this ballpark. Rangers have knocked them around in Cleveland, but not here.
Oh, right off the helmet. Ron Washington, Jamie Reed racing to the plate. A couple good signs there, at least up sitting and talking. Jamie testing him out, like he showed him where it hit him on the helmet. And a great sight there, the scariest moment in baseball.
I think when you're the hitter and you're stunned, you just stay down and just wait, just to find out if you're okay. You don't know right off the bat. You get hit that hard, even with a helmet on, the concussion of it. Just stay there to make sure. You get up, you look around, take a deep breath, and say, okay, I'm okay. You hit him right in the ear flap. That'll make your ears ring. That pitch wasn't even close.
Tough to watch, tough to hear. But Elvis shaking it off at first base for Josh Hamilton. Carmona's reaction.
Yeah, ball just one of those balls that gets away from a guy. He's not wild. He just, for whatever reason, let that one slip.
And there goes Elvis. Ground ball booted by Kipnis twice. And Hamilton is safe. Elvis at second base with 1 out.
Yeah, it looked like Kipnis might have a chance to recover, but then he couldn't pick it up the second time either. Elvis had a big jump on Carmona.
So Hamilton aboard on the E4.
Shortstop was covering. That means Kipnis was in position to field the ball. Just couldn't do it.
So one of the many heroes from last night now, Michael Young. Two more hits, including the tying home run of the ninth. He comes in with 1,997. into right field, but getting there in time is Fukudome.
Here we go again. Rangers must have hit 8 balls like that last night, either line drives or long fly balls. Fortunately, they hit enough other ones that they were able to score 9 runs, 8 runs.
Finally. Carmona needing only 7 pitches to get 2 outs and put 2 men on. As Nelson Cruz steps up, he had a tough night, but he dominates Carmona. 5 for 13, 3 home runs.
The Rangers beat Carmona in Cleveland in that 4-game series that they swept. And in Carmona's game, Hamilton hit a home run, Cruz hit a home run. It was Holland's 4-0 win.
Nelly last night 0 for 5 with the golden sombrero. Struck out 4 times. Still hitting very well. Ended a 4-game hitting streak in which he was 7 for 15. Carmona last worked Sunday, lost to Kansas City 5-3, 7 of the 3rd innings, 4 runs on 6 hits. Dropped him to 5-11. And Cruz pops this one up. It will come down just below us, and it's 0-2. Carmona in his career against the Rangers just 2-7 with a .543 earned run average. But when he is on, he is very difficult to hit. 19-8 in their division winning season of 07, an all-star last year. And the 0-2 pitch to Cruz rides inside. Also spent some time recently on the DL with a strained right quad, 2 weeks in July. Elvis at second after being beamed. Hamilton at first after the error by Kipnis. Carmona strike away from leaving them on base. And a ground ball fielded by Chisenhall at third. So Carmona needing only 11 pitches. 2 men left after 1, 0-0.
Crowd tonight, and time to talk about Community Corner. Texas Rangers Foundation and Matthew McConaughey, the native Texan, has teamed up with Matthew's Just Keep Living Foundations to promote wellness and health in schools. 3 North Texas schools, Pinkston, Sam Houston, and Jarvis, will participate this year. They go back to school next week with orientations. Those who are interested, sign up Let's just keep living. Log on for more information on jkliving.org, jkliving.org. Ready for 3 in a row, guys, huh? You bet. Let's get it tonight. There you go, Dave. Great crowd tonight.
All right, Jim. Carlos Santana takes a curve for ball 1. And another one for a strike.
We were talking about Santana last night. He's got a good eye at the plate. He's walked 70 times this year, 3rd most in the American League. He's only hitting .235, but it's going up a little bit. He's been pretty hot the last couple of weeks. Good young player. He got to the big leagues at a young age. Got him in a trade with the Dodgers. Casey Blake. Good trade for the Indians. Get a young, promising catcher for more of a veteran utility guy that wasn't going to figure in your long-range plans anyway.
Santana last night, extra base hits in his first 2 at-bats. 3-run homer in the first, 2-run double in the second. Career-high 5 RBIs in his first 2 plate appearances. And that one is headed for extra bases as well. Tracked down by Hamilton at the wall. And Santana has himself a leadoff double. So he continues to be an extremely tough out.
He likes the high fastball, that's for sure. Hit one out of the ballpark last night about the same height, only on the outside part of the plate. This one was up and in, not even a strike. Fukudome is a left-hand hitter, but he's hit left-hand pitchers a lot better than right-handers. He's only hitting .250, but he's hitting almost .300 against lefties.
Last night 0 for 3 until the 8th inning. He singled and singled again in the 10th. Fukudome playing his 9th game after coming over from the Cubs. 8 for 32, .250, couple of doubles, 3 runs batted in. Lifted right around where Hamilton was playing, shaded over toward left field. 1 gone in the second. Introducing Fox Sports Game Connect, the ultimate online experience for fans. You can log on to take part in the most interactive forum during Rangers games. Stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds. Plus, you can even share your thoughts with our game broadcast. Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on foxsportssouthwest.com. So with Santana at second, 1 out, here is Shelley Duncan. Called up yesterday from AAA Columbus, with Jack Hanahan going on paternity leave. Quick look at our text poll tonight. Who should be the next member of the Rangers Hall of Fame? Text Gonzalez for Juan Gonzalez, Palmeiro for Rafi, or Burrows for Jeff Burrows. 95323. Kenny Rogers goes in today. Who should follow him?
Oh, what a great job Kenny did too. Gave an excellent speech, acceptance speech.
Looked like
no notes.
It looked like he brought some notes up to the podium and never looked at him.
He had him there for a security blanket and never looked at him. He just did a superb job. It's not that easy talking on that microphone because there's a slight delay that throws you off a little bit, but he was great.
Duncan reaching for that outside pitch, and it's 1-2, and it was very heartfelt.
Yep.
I felt like people who didn't really know anything about Kenny got a good feel for who he is as a person.
I agree.
We'll have Kenny Rogers up visiting with us in the 4th inning tonight, and Buddy Bell is also here in the 6th inning. Jim Knox will also, I'm pretty sure, flag down a couple other Rangers Hall of Famers here. Gathering of the greats. Most of them made it back, too. And lots of alumni. There's Buddy, right next to Jim Sundberg. I don't think Buddy makes it back these ways. all that often lately. It's been a while, I think, since most people have seen him here at Arlington. So it'll be good to visit with him.
Yeah, one of the things with Buddy, he's always been working in baseball, and making an appearance here during the season has been tough for him. And he worked it into his schedule this year.
Adrian Beltre is a fantastic third baseman. People who watch Buddy Bell would probably argue he's still the best third baseman in Ranger history. Duncan finally gets something inside and way out in front of it, fouls it off, and it's still 2-2.
And it's so difficult to compare people who played a while back. You know, you remember them as really good players, but you're watching Beltre right now and you see how well he plays third. But I would agree with you. I think Adrian's a terrific third baseman, but Buddy was right there with him.
Adrian's here a few more years. We may be saying the same thing about him. Back inside with the target that time, but it's 3-2. Santana out at second after his leadoff double. Duncan last night homered in the third inning. And that was the last Indian run. It made it 7-2. And then the bullpen kicked in and allowed the Ranger bats to whittle away at that lead. Reaches at that low outside pitch. Shallow center for Hamilton, out number 2. Here are some of the comments by Kenny Rogers, his acceptance speech before the game.
I'm truly grateful for the honor to be able to call myself a Texas Ranger. And like the beginning of my story started, it could not end in a more perfect way than right here in Texas for me. I came back quite a few times. And I think the main reason was because I wanted to win so badly here, because I felt like I owed this organization everything.
Whole 10 minutes was in that vein. 2 outs. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall. Called up from AAA Columbus on June 27th. This is his 27th game with the Indians.
Chisenhall, not too long ago, was a #1 draft choice for the Indians. Got through the farm system quickly.
It was just 3 years ago. Three homers already. 5 runs batted in.
Whoa, good try. Tough pitch to lay off of. Outside, probably a little bit.
CJ throwing 20 pitches in the first inning. This will be his 17th of the second. Chisenhall, their top rated prospect this year, up after just 65 games at AAA. And he gets the curveball and skies it out to right field for Cruz. And Wilson works around the leadoff double with 3 fly balls. Still 0-0.
At the bottom of the second, no score between the Rangers and Indians. And Dave and Tom, special guests right here, back for the first time for Hall of Fame ceremonies. It's David Clyde, the first-round pick, the first overall selection back in 1973, coming out of high school. How'd you enjoy the Hall of Fame ceremonies?
It was very impressive, very awesome, very well done, a lot of dignity and honor to it. So it goes hand in hand with Kenny Rogers' career. 18-0
at Westchester High School. The Rangers select you 73 draft, the #1 overall selection. High school guy coming in the bigs. You get your very first start. Sellout crowd. What was going through your mind?
Not a whole lot. There, basically, just the biggest thing was just getting to the time of the game, because there was a lot of hoopla and all sorts of things involved with it. But just getting to get on the field was the big thing.
And then at the time, as you went through your years, you decided to revive your career with the Astros back in '81, and it came for a moment you decided, hey, enough is enough. When was that decision?
Well, all of a sudden I woke up one morning in the instructional league on the mound and just asked myself the question, what am I doing here? And I knew right then and there that my heart wasn't in it anymore, and it was time to find something else to do.
All right, real quick, David, fill us in. What are you doing nowadays?
For the last 10 years, I've been primarily a private pitching instructor and coached an 18-year-old select team. So I've been very blessed in my life to be able to stay around the game and hopefully pass on some of the passion and knowledge I have for the game to the young kids I get a chance to work with.
There you go. All right, David, good seeing you. Appreciate the time. Dave?
All right, Jim, it's really good to see David Clyde back.
Yeah, David's not kidding about that first game. The day that he pitched, there was like one of the worst traffic jams that's ever been around the ballpark. And so to let the people in the ballpark, the Rangers delayed the start of the game probably 15 or 20 minutes, and he's trying to figure out when to go down and warm up. And as he made his way to the bullpen, which was down the right field line on the field, sports writers were following him, cameras were following him. While he's warming up to come to pitch a major league game, there's cameras right in his face taking his picture. Sports writers trying to talk to him is ridiculous. And, the poor kid's 18 years old trying to get ready to pitch in a big league game and had to go through that. It wasn't easy for him, and he did it. He got through 5 innings, had a little bit of a control problem, but struck out the side in the first inning. It was great. It was one of the more exciting games that I remember watching was his debut.
You're like a month out of Westchester High School.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Right straight out of high school to a big league game.
And really the precursor of the Josh Beckett's and the Kerry Woods and the Texas high school fireballers who have followed.
Yeah.
But they were obviously dealt with very differently. But were you aware at the time, were the players aware that sellout at the time was seen as the gate that saved the franchise's ability to stay in Arlington?
Everybody wrote about that back then, and the sports writers brought it to our attention that might be the case. So you don't really know what's going on, but it was pretty obvious that sellout crowd and the ones that followed it, close to sellout crowds, helped Bob Short get through that season financially. Otherwise, there was just no reason to bring a high school kid to the big leagues that soon. It wasn't in his best interest. Might have been in the best interest of the financial state of the team at that time, but it didn't do David any favors. I firmly believe that if David had gone to the rookie league and made his way through A-ball and AA and AAA over a 3, 4, maybe even a 5-year period and got to the big leagues when he was 21, 22, 23, could have stayed in the big leagues for 10 years and had a great career, because he was obviously a terrific, young, promising pitcher. It was almost sad to see the way the Rangers, the front office, brought him along and what they did to him. He wasn't going to complain because he was pitching in the big leagues, but wasn't the right way to do it. It was a shame.
Mitch Moreland walks with 1 out. That brings up your Vitor Alba. And boy, was his scouting report on Ubaldo Jimenez right on last night. He had said that if he was throwing high 90s first few pitches, first couple of innings, probably a long night, and instead he knew 3 pitches into the game when he saw Jimenez already go to his splitter that the Rangers would not have to deal with Jimenez at his best, and said tonight he still can't figure out why Jimenez hasn't figured out that he should pitch the way he did in the middle innings when he was mowing the Rangers down. And that's featuring that high 90s fastball. He'll go for some stretches where he feels the need to throw all his pitches and really dissipates what makes him so tough.
I think one of the problems he had last night in looking at his walk totals is that he can't locate his fastball well enough. You know, he's got a deceptive delivery, great velocity and movement on his fastball. And when he gets to the point where he can spot the fastball on both sides of the plate and throw it more where he wants to, then I think he's going to be a lot more successful than we saw last night. Had to be what he was doing when he was pitching so well for Colorado. Not much command last night.
Chopper just foul, and it's 1-2. Jorvita was able to hasten his exit a little bit. 2 for 5, a double and a run scored in the second. And continues a long stretch of good hitting, which he attributes to going to right field. Because that's where I'm pitched anyway. Earlier in the year, I was pulling those and getting ground ball after ground ball to short. Now I'm sending them out to right field. Line drives, a lot of doubles. Because they know if they pitch me inside, I can take that ball into the left field seats, so I don't see the inside pitch much. Right there. Extra bases again. Another double for Torrealba. Moreland will stop at third, and the Rangers have 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
Couldn't quite get it to roll to the wall. Fukudome has good speed, was able to get over and cut it off. I thought off the bat it was going to roll to the wall, in which case I think Moreland could have scored. Not a bad pitch. It's a sinker down. And any hitter who can use the whole field and hit the ball where it's pitched is a better hitter. And so the way he's hitting right now is obviously making him a better hitter.
Jorvi Torrealba safe at second, safe and secure New York life.
You got the infield back. A ground ball can score a run. Fly ball can obviously score a run. And base hit might score 2 runs.
So here is David Murphy. It's the Indians better than he does any other opponent. 343 in his career. First pitch here, though, popped up. And Santana in foul territory handles the second out. So it will be up to Kinsler to try and get these runs home. He, in first time up, swung at the first pitch and grounded out to short.
And Ted Williams was always a firm believer that the first fastball that you see, you should take it, just to get an idea of how hard the guy's throwing, what it looks like. And that if you do decide to swing at the first pitch, you can't be late on it. You've got to be out in front of it.
And he always said if you pop it up, you were late, right?
Yeah, in that particular case, I think he was. Ball got up and in on him. It wasn't really a good pitch to hit. Maybe it's a good pitch to hit if you've seen a lot of pitches and it's your second or third time up and you're feeling good. But it looked like the pitch was just up and in enough with enough on it, so he just didn't really get the head of the bat out.
Well, Ian takes the first fastball this time. Three for his last 40. Had it going really well during the win streak. Trying to reignite. 1-1. Last night, though, I did have a double, a stolen base, ending a 25-game stretch without even a stolen base attempt. And scored in the first inning after 8 games without crossing the plate. Another ground ball to Cabrera at short, and he again throws out Kinsler. And the Rangers, with a walk and a double, leave 2 in scoring position, and after 2, it's still 0-0. to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By AT&T, Rethink Possible. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve, third inning now, 0-0. C.J. Wilson has thrown 37 pitches, allowed 2 hits, including a leadoff double by Carlos Santana in the second, but retired the next 3 batters on fly balls. And the Rangers have left 2 on each of the first 2 innings against Fausto Carmona. So the catcher Lou Marson to lead off the Indian third, batting .226, a homer, 9 runs batted in. His 47th game. And the best in the major leagues at throwing out would-be base stealers this year. Defense far outweighing the offense at this point. For the 25-year-old, Indians acquired in the Cliff Lee trade from Philadelphia, deadline 2 years ago. Let's see if CJ can get through the inning through fewer pitches than he has spent in the first 2. Slow roller, Michael Young, bare hands, throws and gets him.
That's a great play. Doesn't matter who's running, whether you got a slow run or not. When you're playing deep and you have to come in 20 or 30 feet on the dead run, bare-handed ball that is still kind of taking a little bit of a hop, get it with a good enough grip to make a throw across the diamond and get the runner. He made a nice play. Catches it on a hop. Just gets Marson at first base. Nice play.
Ron Washington was talking about Michael Young's defense at third before the game. Said that looks quicker to me this year, maybe because he's a little better rested, having DH'd a lot, but likes his positioning. Always seems to be in the right spot, moving well. Saw all of that right there. Now Brantley, who flied to right to begin the game. And ahead now, 2 balls and no strikes. Brantley in as a defensive replacement last night. Got an infield hit leading off the top of the 11th. He was running when Jason Donald grounded into a very tough 4-6-3 double play.
The only way the Rangers get that double play, it had to be a hard hit ball and had to be right at Ian, just like it was. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get the guy at second base.
So that erased that threat. Feliz then popped up Carrera, and you know what happened in the Rangers half of the 11th. A very key play turned in by the defense to get it to the point where the Ranger bats and legs could take over.
Got some people to acknowledge. Shirley Coast, our cookie lady, another great batch of coconut macadamia cookies. Thank you, Shirley. Also, Rebecca Farah. She was the one that sent up those chocolate mint cake balls. The way they went, I could tell they were good.
I missed those.
You did. You had to pick quick to get those.
10 seconds or so?
Yeah, that was about it. They were gone in a hurry. Guys up here, girls up here love chocolate.
Chopper right back to Wilson. And 2 gone in the third. Let's check in with Rick Renner.
Hey guys, Adrian Beltre was hoping to go on a rehab assignment after running the bases for 2 consecutive days, but unfortunately he had a setback. Let's hear from Ron Washington.
You can't put enough emphasis on how hard Adrian worked, but you know, we're just going to continue to go through it, and we haven't put a timetable on anything yet. Hamstrings you just can't mess with, and we'll just put him through all our processes, and once those processes are over, then we'll be ready to announce exactly where we are with that.
Ron is usually cautious in these kind of situations. That's a good thing to be. But, you know, you look at Beltre, he's missed more than 2 weeks, and he still is tied for the team lead in RBIs with Michael Young with 76, guys.
Yeah, he was doing so much damage before he got hurt, and really the Rangers just fortunate that Michael Young's bat has filled in so well at cleanup, and his glove has handling third base as well as possible.
Also want to thank the Terrys from Wichita Falls for the gift basket they sent up. They're here at the game, I think, in a suite. Thank you very much to the Terry family. The Goomba bars from Kristen and Ryan, Lubbock, Texas. Big Ranger fans. Thank you, Kristen, for those.
The Goomba bars?
The Goomba bars. They're in the refrigerator. They were a little bit warm. We had to cool them off a little bit.
Two and two to Kipnis. Reached on an infield single in the first.
So I want to wish happy birthday to Dennis Diamond from Springtown, Texas.
Well, another full count. And another pretty high pitch inning here for CJ.
And the Diamonds want to say hi to Kelly. She's home. She has to miss the game. She's home with her new son, Lucas, born on June 28th. I hope you're watching. Hope the new addition to your family is doing well. And hope the Rangers bring you home a victory.
This is the fourth full count already against Wilson. And he has retired all four batters. His third strikeout, his first 1-2-3 inning. Again at 7:05, first 10,000 fans 13 and under will receive a red binder featuring 6 Rangers players. For tickets and back to school supplies, visit TexasRangers.com or call 972 Rangers. In the Ranger third, Andrews, Hamilton, and Young. Elvis beamed on the left ear flap. 1-1 pitch in the first inning. Very frightening moment. Only stayed down a few seconds. Went on down to first base. And ended the inning stranded at second.
The Rangers had men on first and second with 1 out in the first inning, second and third with 1 out in the second inning. Hadn't been able to get across a run yet.
Looks to bunt his way on here. Barehanded and thrown in time by Chisenhall.
Nice play by Chisenhall. Made it look easy. Bunt might have been just a little bit too hard, but still a pretty good bunt. Nice play. Chisenhall gets a good jump on that ball. He sees Elvis square around. Charges. Makes a nice play.
Well, if the Indians never see another Elvis bunt single again, it'll be too soon. So they prevent one there. Here's Hamilton, reached on an error by Kipnis. His first time up. Josh, after starting last night 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Then the 2-out single in the 9th. His 3rd walk-off of the year in the 11th. 3rd walk-off of his career, 2nd of the season in the 11th. Last time the Rangers won a game down 2 with 2 outs in the 9th, July 9th of 2008. Michael Young, an RBI single. Josh, 2-run walk-off home run. That was his first walk-off. This one chopped right back to Carmona. And that's 4 straight retired after the double by Torrealba. Last inning set up 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. Michael Young hit it hard his first time up, lined out to Fukudome in right. Another Ranger who feasts on Indian pitching. He did 15 straight games here at the ballpark against Cleveland, pitching at a .400 clip. Mariners and the Angels are underway in Anaheim. Seattle batting in the top of the 1st against Tyler Chatwood. That's a matchup of the 2 rookies. Chatwood for the Angels, Blake Bevan for the Mariners. The Angels last night also winning in extra innings, 1-0 in 10.
Vernon Wells with a base hit to knock in Torrey Hunter to win that game.
Yep. It kept them for the 4th straight game, 1 game behind the Rangers. Shot up the middle, base hit number 1998 for Michael Young.
That was a rocket. He's swinging the bat great right now. The out that he made in the 1st inning was line drive. Not quite as hard hit as that, but nevertheless, a pretty well hit ball that Fukudome made a running catch on. Thank goodness Carmona got out of the way of that one. The ball would have hit him harder than the one that he hit Elvis with.
Unfortunate he falls off just a hair toward first base. That would have parted his hair. So here's Cruz, grounded to 3rd, and sends one that way again. So again, the Rangers at least a base runner in every inning. 2 away from 2,000 now. And Michael will be the 11th fastest in baseball history to 2,000 career hits. That's if it doesn't take him 17 more games, which I don't think it will. Nelly Cruz really had it going in Detroit. 2 hits in every game of the 3-game series there. And the great history against Carmona. But that one is out of play, and it's 1-2. Brandon McCarthy has a great game going at Tampa Bay. The A's leading 5-0. Brandon 4 hitting the Rays, who are batting in the bottom of the 7th inning.
It's like Seattle's got a good 1st inning going right now.
Yep, 2 runs already. Adam Kennedy doubling in Ichiro and Dustin Ackley.
That's Clayton Moore. Young Clayton Moore.
Maybe his grandson. Cruz not chasing. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Some people may remember that the Rangers employed Clayton Moore back in 1980 to ride a white horse onto the field for opening day.
I'd forgotten that.
That was awesome.
The actual Lone Ranger.
That was Clayton Moore. Brad Corbett gave him, I think, $5,000 an appearance, maybe 6 or 7 appearances that year. He led the parade at the stock show. He came out to the ballpark and made some other appearances for the Rangers. But when he first came onto the field, he came out through the center field fence, rode the horse around to the music, and then reared up the horse right at home plate. It was tremendous.
That one almost hits Cruz.
I can remember, among a lot of other things, I was like his liaison to the team. I was working in group ticket sales my first year as a non-player. And I picked him up at the old Roadway Inn to take him to the airport after the appearance. And I said to him, "Have you checked out of the hotel, Clayton?" And he looked at me dead serious and he said, "Young man, I don't check out of hotels. I just ride away into the sunset." And it was right then and there that I knew in his mind he was not Clayton Moore. He was the Lone Ranger.
Well, isn't that what he did after the show ended? He just did these personal appearances.
Yeah.
The whole rest of his career.
He
right?
would talk about Jay Silverheels, who was Tonto, and I watched that every Sunday. The old Lone Ranger show. And I loved every time he came. I got to pick him up at the airport, talk to him, be at the appearances, give him a ride back to the airport. It was a thrill for me. But and the saddest part was they were making a movie about it, and he didn't get picked to be in it. They picked a younger guy, and because the movie had the rights to the Lone Ranger name and logo and everything, whatever you want to say, he couldn't wear the mask. He had to wear sunglasses, and that caused him great anxiety and sadness. Number one, that he wasn't picked to play the part in the movie. Number two, that he couldn't wear his mask. Just didn't look right. But he had the same outfit that he wore, and he was in great shape too. Great looking guy. He must have been well into his 70s.
But a method actor, evidently. He became the role.
He definitely became him.
Michael has to stop to avoid being hit by the grounder. Kipnis throws out Cruz, and that does it for the Rangers' third. 1 hit, 1 man left. On to the 4th. Kenny Rogers will visit with us in a 0-0 game.
all of the alumni for coming, and all of the inductees for coming and helping me celebrate this special occasion, something that I will never forget, and I will always cherish it. So thank you very much.
Kenny Rogers inducted before the game into the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame, hoisting the plaque, honored by his fellow members in the hall, and we are honored by his presence here in the fourth inning. Kenny, first of all, congratulations. A tremendous speech without a single note, and I said to Tom before you came up here, I felt like people who had only seen you play but didn't know you got a real feel for who you are as a person by listening to you talk.
Well, I did not expect to have that kind of comfort level out there. I mean, I pretty much for the last 48 hours, I was petrified of what I was going to have to say. But amazingly enough, I mean, when you have friends get up there and speak before you, that it does relax you, and you really know what you want to say, but it's hard to express in the words the right way, and I'm really thankful that it came out okay.
Tom has told your story, and you kind of recounted it a little bit, but I think you said at the luncheon yesterday, you don't know of anyone who has come farther than you did as a kid who was undersized and not even a pitcher on your high school team. How did you end up here?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't mean it in an arrogant way at all, but I've never heard of anyone being signed by a scout for a professional team, and Joe Marchese signed me without ever seeing me pitch in a baseball game. And I've never heard of anyone doing that, and he always knew I was going to be a pitcher. I think when he saw me playing outfield, I don't know if that was, why he wanted me to be a pitcher, but that scouting job, I've never heard of anything taking that raw of a person and visualizing what he could be, and without Joe Marchese, my story never begins.
Well, there's what your story produced. 133 wins, second only to Charlie Huff in Rangers history. Only perfect game, not too far away from the anniversary.
Kenny, let's say that Joe didn't go to the game that afternoon. I think Stanley Bodrick was the player for Tampa that was playing in that game. Let's say he didn't go to that game. Would you have been able to play college baseball or anything after high school, do you think?
The fact, with a 100% guarantee, I probably would have never went to college, and I would have never been able to be afforded the opportunity to play professional baseball. When they came to watch Stanley, I mean, there was 15, 18 scouts there, and the only one that didn't have blinders on just to that kid was Joe. And why or how he did it, I have no idea. But I know without a doubt I am extremely fortunate that he did, and I benefited from his vision, because he told me when he was going to draft me, he goes, look, I know you're small, and I was 5'10" tops and 130 pounds, but 17 years old, he said, he goes, I just think you're going to get stronger, you're going to get a lot bigger, and I believe you're going to throw a lot harder. And he could tell I was a pretty good athlete. But when you hear that, I mean, it's all great, because I'm like, whatever you want, I'll do. I just want to go. And, man, I wish he was still here today, because it would have been nice to see him and let him know that what he did for me was, just unbelievable.
For the people that are watching tonight and don't know the story, you weren't pitching in the game. You were playing in the outfield, and all he saw was you make one throw from the outfield. It's not like he watched you pitch a game, which is even more remarkable. He's there to watch someone on the other team. You make a throw from the outfield, and it clicks in his mind, this kid might be able to be a pitcher. It really is unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't understand it, because I was only playing right field. That's the only year I played high school baseball. And when you're playing in right field, I mean, nobody really looks at you out there. It's like
that's why you're playing out there, right?
It's like they're trying to hide you. But I still to this day have no idea what he saw, but I have a very significant amount of respect for scouts in general, because they do that every day. Maybe not to that level, but what they do every day, they give kids that love to play a baseball game an opportunity to do something and continue a dream that they've always had.
No doubt.
trivia question. And it continues our week-long theme of Kenny Rogers trivia questions. One of 4 pitchers in Rangers history, 10-plus wins and 15-plus saves in a single season. 1990 in your case. Can you name the other 3?
Jeff Russell's one of them, I think. I hope. Because I know he was a closer and a starter.
Napoli sending that one pretty deep to right, but Fukudome is there.
Wow. Trying to think of other guys that pitched out of the bullpen.
Can give you the years a little before you, but this was Kenny Rogers.
Oh, for those days. I don't look like that anymore.
Came up as a reliever, became a starter. And something I always wondered about people with stories like yours is, all those years in the minors, when did you know you could make it at this level? Was it only after you got here?
Gosh, I don't know if I never really got to that comfort level, I guess, because I really tried to not to take things for granted. Every day I got here, I was trying to learn something new because my experience level was so little. But I think after you get a few years in, I knew after my second year as a reliever, I knew that I could be a reliever. But knowing that, when there became an opportunity, I want to say in the 4th year, to try and do a little bit more, I was limited in those first 3 or 4 years. I only had 2 pitches. I mean, a fastball and a changeup, and they were pretty good, but you can't do that as a starter. So I started tinkering with adding a breaking ball, and at that time, Claude Osteen came along and helped me tremendously learn how to do one, learn how to throw one correctly, and I think it clicked for me probably in the maybe not the first opportunity to pitch at starting, because that was tough. I think I'd have one start, and then I was a pretty good reliever, so instead of doing my bullpen, I'd be in the game for 3 days later, usually because I didn't last very long as the starter.
Well, strike one to Torey Alba, 2 outs here in the Ranger 4th. We had Rusty Greer up a couple days ago reminiscing about the perfect game. When you saw what Rex Hudler did with that sinking line drive to right center in the 9th, did you think it was over?
I wasn't sure.
Sinking line drive here, and it gets past Duncan all the way to the wall. Torey Alba again at second base with a double, his second of the game.
I knew he didn't hit it very well. It was jammed him a little bit. I'm sure Rex will tell you it was a line drive.
But here it is.
Yeah. But it got in him on him enough. He tried inside out it. But one thing I've told Rusty over the years, I know he wasn't the fastest center fielder ever, but I knew when he left his feet, he was catching it.
Really?
He's one guy I've never seen when he left his feet, he caught the ball. Now, I don't know if anybody else has done that, but when he dove for it, it was in his glove every time.
How often today are you asked about the perfect game?
Quite often, without a doubt. I mean, everybody comes up all the time saying they were there, or that the reason that they missed the game. And, I have a lot of that. But, I mean, it's a great talking point for me, and I'm extremely proud of it. But what I really liked was the fact that there were so many fans there for that day. I think it was over 50,000 people, which I know it wasn't because I was starting that day. There had to be a great giveaway, but it was really nice that that many people were able to be there.
It was still one of the great memories in the history of this franchise. David Murphy, who fouled out his first time up, chance to break this scoreless tie here with Torey Alba at second and 2 outs. And now 2 balls and no strikes.
Kenny, do you remember in your rookie ball season that year, do you remember the first game that Sid Hudson finally came in and said to me, all right, he's ready?
I didn't know he ever did that, to be honest with you.
I kept asking him every day, look, Kenny's the only guy we haven't got into a game. Is today the day? He's not quite ready, not quite ready. Finally came in and said, okay, he's ready.
I'm probably the only guy that needed every year he had in the minors. I had 7 years, and I probably needed every day. But Sid was tremendous. I mean, I tell you, when I first got there, he was a Washington Senators pitcher a long time ago, but he started the foundation for me just to get some semblance of some mechanics. And then when he tried to teach me a curveball, because I didn't have that at all, that should have been on video, because it was difficult for me to comprehend how to do it. And he had contraptions to help me try. And I love him for giving me the effort. Every coach that I had, I cannot express this enough, that they all gave me so much more than I gave them. I learned so much from every one of them. I know that I can't repay that debt, but it was my privilege to be there and to receive all that stuff. And I tried everything they would give to me. And I think one criticism of me is I might have tried too many things at one time. Because as you know, I was
you might be the only one that agreed to try that curveball contraption. I know that.
I mean, I can't believe my elbow didn't blow out, because it was really weird. But
Kenny, congratulations. Great day for you. Well deserved, and we appreciate your time up here.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate it very much. Tom,
Kenny, it's great.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Take care.
That was the great Kenny Rogers, newest member of the Texas Rangers Hall of Fame. Rogers, one of 4 pitchers in Rangers history, 10-plus wins, 15-plus saves in 1 year. Adrian Devine in 77. First to do it, Jim Kern in 79, and Greg Harris in 1986. Same season. Mark McLemore joins us now in our parade of greats. Welcome.
Great. Well, I shouldn't be here right now. I'm just a fill-in guy.
Not true at all. Well, very different night from last night. We are scoreless into the 5th inning here. It'll be Fukudome, Duncan, and Chisenhall. C.J. Wilson has allowed only 2 hits, both in the first 2 innings. And McAnight, where the Rangers and C.J. most of all knew he had to give them some innings after what the bullpen did last night. And so far, he's doing it.
He is. He's done a pretty good job tonight. And, you know, the one thing, he needed to give the bullpen a rest, but also he needed to stay out there for himself. You know, we know his last couple of outings, he hasn't gone very deep into a ball game. So tonight he's doing an outstanding job using all of his pitches, and they all seem to be working right now.
Right below us.
Tag had that under control.
Those are our friends down below. They sit there every night.
Wow.
Wasn't a clean play, but he came up with it.
It's a souvenir in the box score. Fukudome strikes out. 4th strikeout.
Kenny had 20 pitches in the first inning. He's averaged about 10 pitches in the inning since then. 10 straight. He's retired. Last 2 on strikeouts. Just missed it.
Excuse me.
That's not going to quite get it done right there.
5th strikeout for C.J. Shelley Duncan flied to center his first time up. Mac, is there such a thing in baseball as a carryover from a win like last night?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. You get that momentum and you carry it into the next day, and you can keep it rolling. When you have a win like that, that really excites everybody, and it brings everybody's confidence up, especially coming from behind, tying it in the 9th, winning it in the 11th in dramatic fashion. That can be a huge carryover.
And at least next time that happens, you got to be able to tell yourself it's not over. We can fall down early. We prove we can overcome, in this case, a 5-run deficit.
Well, that's really been this team's MO, really, for the last few years, is they don't give up. It doesn't matter if they're down early, if they're down late. They don't give up until that final out's made. And last night was, a good example of that. They continue to fight. They scraped, they scratched, and scored, chipped away here, chipped away there, 1 run, 2 runs, and then tied it up in the 9th and won in the 11th. And that's really the sign of a contending ball club, a very good ball club.
Duncan lifts that one foul, and 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mac, have you had a chance to hear the new song to honor Ron Washington? If you have, what's your thoughts on that?
I have. It's I do know who Merle Haggard is. I heard it yesterday at pregame.
You don't have him on in your car though on the way to the park?
He's not in my iPad or my iPod, so no, he's not in the car.
Just the honor of the song itself is pretty cool.
It really is. I mean, you get a great like that to sing a song in your honor. That is definitely a great thing.
Well, the great thing is watching Wash's reaction to it, because he had no idea when he came to the park he would be standing at home plate listening to a song written about him, basically.
No.
At least he's the inspiration for the song, as rewritten by Bob Simpson.
That's nice. When an owner steps in and does something like that, that's tremendous. And the look on his face was spectacular.
Stretch of 10 straight Indians retired ends here in the walk to Duncan. Ranger fans meet Andres Blanco Tuesday and sign up to be the Whataburger Whata-fan. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and meet one of your Texas Rangers at Whataburger, 1726 Military Parkway in Mesquite. You will enjoy meeting Andres Blanco. So here's Chisenhall, who flied to right his first time up. Duncan, their first base runner since the leadoff double by Santana in the 2nd, and a base hit to right center field. Duncan stopping at 2nd. And the first time the Indians have 2 men on in a single inning. And Lou Marson will be the batter. Went out, drove an outside pitch.
That's one of the few pitches that CJ's left out over the plate. He's really pretty much been able to hit the corners, keep the Indians off balance. But that's one of those pitches he left out over the plate, and you really don't want to miss there, because that's where big league hitters can do their damage at.
2 on, 1 out. Marson retired on a nice play by Michael Young, charging, barehanding him, throwing him out to begin the 3rd. A good curve for strike 1. Mac, what are your memories of hitting against Kenny Rogers?
Not good ones.
Didn't go well for you?
Did not go well for me. Usually I didn't play when Kenny pitched, and that was simply because he would just get me out time and time again. A lot of off-speed stuff and come hard inside.
Grounder to Young, and only the out at second base. Second out of the inning. Duncan now at 3rd. Marson at 1st on the fielder's choice for Michael Brantley.
Could tell what happened there, Mac. Did Ian have a hard time getting it out of his glove, or no play at first base?
He had a play. He just couldn't get it out of his glove. It looked like it just jumped out a little bit, and he didn't really have the handle, so the best play was just to eat it. Yep.
Never had a grip on it, did he?
No, he didn't. That's a tough play. You've got a runner getting down the line a little bit, and you want to try and go just a little bit faster and get it out, but sometimes if that ball's not firmly in your hand, you don't want to let it go. He knows it too.
First and 3rd for Brantley. 0 for 2. He's flied to right, bounced to the mound.
Tom, I think this is what's been the difference between CJ being a reliever and a starter. He gets in these situations, but he pitches himself out of these situations. As a reliever, sometimes he'd get into a little bit of trouble and not be able to shut things down and get out of an inning without giving up a run.
Well, he's gotten a lot more efficient since the first couple innings. He needed 20 to get out of the first, 17 more in the second. And now at 76 pitches, 48 strikes through 4 2/3. Last two outings were CJ's only appearances all year, going less than 5. Much more in form tonight, and he gets strike 2.
That's a high strike right there.
That's about the top of the zone right there. He's not going to go much higher than that.
I like the umpires when they call that pitch a strike. Especially when our guy throws it.
There you go.
You try to strike him out, get him to swing at a bad pitch. Brantley was able to hold off on it.
And that's called having confidence in your catcher right there. When you've got a runner at third base and he calls for that pitch, you do want that. He was trying to bounce that pitch to get him to get the left-hander to swing at a bad curveball, but it's actually a purpose pitch. But you've got to have confidence in that catcher that he can block that pitch and not let it get by and let that run score from third.
Comes back inside to strike out Brantley. Indians threaten, leave runners on the corner, still scoreless.
The Rangers and Indians, and what a special guest we have right here. Ruben Sierra, Ranger Hall of Famer, Ranger great, of course, in town for the Hall of Fame festivities. Good to see some of the old guys.
Yeah, man. Some of that I didn't recognize them good, because it's been a long time. But, I was happy to see him.
There we go. Kenny Rogers, you played with him a few years. Your thoughts about Kenny Rogers?
He was a little tough, guy that you have to have patience, because he throw a lot of off speed. He changed a lot of speed in the ball, and then he just tried to come in real hard in the inside part of the plate. I mean, it was a little difficult. I was lucky with him when I faced him.
There we go. And fill us in. What are you doing now, Ruben? Where do you live, and what are you doing?
I live in Miami, and I'm doing some private hitting lesson. to the kid, and I have about 20 kids working with me, and the main thing is that they all doing good.
There we go. That's the main thing. What a good hitting instructor. All right, Ruben, good seeing you. Thank you very much. Enjoy your game. Thank you.
That's great. That is the main thing.
It is. Bottom line.
The golden child, as Mark Holtz so aptly titled him.
That was an exciting player, boy.
It was. That's one of those guys that would come to the plate that you did not want to see coming to the plate. He scared you from both sides of the plate, and it just seemed like he always came through with a clutch hit.
You know, I think that was so true. And when he came back to the Rangers late in his career, playing on some of those good teams, he was one of the guys on the team that you hoped was up in a key situation, because he wanted to be up there. He wasn't just saying I like those situations. You knew he liked those situations.
You knew when he got to the ballpark every day, that's the situation he wanted to be in. And I was fortunate enough to play against him for a lot of years, but then we were also teammates in Seattle. And what a great guy. Just a great guy. Loved the game of baseball. And he had just so much fun. And you know, when it comes down to picking up pitchers and trying to, you know, pick up some of their tendencies, he was great at it.
Yeah.
And you really don't find too many guys that put a lot of time into that, but Ruben was definitely one of those guys.
He was clever too. He used to come. He used to have imitations. He could imitate Nolan pitching, certain hitters hitting. He'd come into the clubhouse singing the Mighty Mouse song and his deep voice, and everybody would, "Here I come." And you'd look around, who is that? It's Ruben. Man, that's the best English I've ever seen him use.
The key thing is he does everything slowly.
Yeah.
He speaks it slowly.
He does.
Not on the field, though.
No.
I mean, you hear a lot of guys titled as five-tool players. He was a genuine five-tool star.
Truly a five-tool player. We knew as opposing players coming in to play the Rangers, if you hit the ball to right field, you just stop. Then you can't steal second because there you've got Pudge behind the plate, so it was tough.
Kinsler grounds out for the third time to the shortstop Cabrera. Let's update our fan text poll. Who should be next in the Rangers Hall of Fame? Heavy support for Juan Gonzalez there. 67% in favor of Wando.
I agree. He's definitely one of the greats in Rangers history, and unfortunately didn't play long enough. I think he really missed, I think, 4 or 5 years there. He would have been one of those guys in the 500 homer club and possibly even 600 homer club.
Yeah, he would have been looking at the Hall of Fame. He's the most valuable player twice.
I think he ended up with 420 something, 427.
I'm not sure what it was.
That's remarkable, having missed 5 years and then came back.
Yeah.
Elvis sends that one toward the right field line, and it is tracked out in fair territory by the second baseman Kipnis.
Well, the Indians aren't doing much against C.J. Wilson, but the Rangers aren't doing much against Fausto Carmona. Got pretty good quickness by Kipnis. You know, Mac, when you talk about infielders, middle infielders especially, and talk about their fielding, you think about ground balls and how they throw, but going back on pop-ups is an art form in itself, isn't it?
It really is, and I love that play going down the line there, because that first baseman, that's a very difficult, nearly impossible play for that first baseman to get to. The right fielder's back so far, it's tough for him, so that second baseman's got to cover a lot of territory.
Hamilton pops up to left field, and Duncan for the third out in a 9-pitch fifth inning. Mark McLemore, always a pleasure.
You got it.
We'll look for more offense from you next time.
I know, I'm slumping, man.
That's all right. I'll give you another shot.
Pre-game ceremony, emceed by Tom Grieve, honoring the newest inductee into the Rangers Hall of Fame, Kenny Rogers, flanked there by some gentlemen who had already been inducted, including our guest now here in the 6th inning, the great Buddy Bell. Welcome. It's good to see you back here in Arlington.
See you, Dave. Tag.
You know, looking at that picture, 60 people out there, they all have white shirts on. I'm the only one that didn't get told to wear a white shirt.
If you were still the GM, they would have told you.
That's pretty embarrassing.
Oh, nothing game. You said you didn't expect to see this tonight, did you?
No, this is unusual for this ballpark. Being a manager in this ballpark is not an easy thing to do just because of the runs that are scored. But I guess your all's pitching is pretty good, you know, and that makes a world of difference, that's for sure.
Yeah, the one thing the Rangers have been able to do is develop a pitching staff that is comfortable and pitches well in this ballpark. We've got several left-handers in the rotation, and they don't mind pitching here.
You know, too, Tag, we get to see the Rangers minor league system quite a bit because we're in the South Atlantic League and the Carolina League, and we've got some pretty good players down there. So the future is bright for this organization.
3 pitches, and Kipnis sits down.
And for the people watching, Buddy, what exactly are you doing now?
I am the director of player development for the White Sox. I've been there 4 years. You know, originally, Tag, I was going to just kind of go back to Cincinnati and just kind of hang out. I was going to originally work for the Rangers or the Royals after I retired from the Royals. But a couple weeks after that, the White Sox called and asked me if I would do that, and I said I would if I could work out of Cincinnati, which is my home. And now I'm in Chicago.
You moved your family? No way.
Yeah. So it's all right. You know, Chicago's a great town, as you know. We're not used to living downtown, which we are now, but it's okay. It's not bad. You know, and I like the organization. I was there once before as a field coordinator, so it's an easy transition for me.
What was it like being around all your former teammates here tonight?
It was great. And there's a few of them that I still keep in touch with, like Sonny and Toby, and guys like that, guys that played right around when I did. But I hadn't seen, and I talked to Bill Stein every once in a while, and Dave Roberts, but I got to see Hostetler, Gino Petralli, Curtis Wilkerson. I mean, guys like that I haven't talked to or seen in a while. It was great, and I haven't been to this induction since I was inducted. So it was really great, and you know, we started signing autographs, but we didn't have a lot of time to talk. I wish we would have had a little bit more time, but it was a terrific evening. Jenny, Terrell, Tawny did a great job putting this thing together.
Michael Young manning your old position there to throw out Cabrera. Buddy Bell highlights. Traded, of course, for Toby Harrah. Came over 1979.
That's Mike.
That's your son.
That was Mike.
Great hitter, 300 hitter, 200 hit season. 20 homers, 100 runs batted in. All those Gold Gloves.
I don't know about you, Buddy, but the one thing that strikes me when I watch highlights from when we played is how skinny we all were. We're just not quite as big as these guys.
No, I know, and I was just talking to Sonny about that too. As these kids are in such great shape, you know, and of course, they've all been on strength and conditioning programs from day one, and I think most organizations do a terrific job in nutrition and things like that. So these kids are not only in great shape, but I think for the most part, they're probably more athletic than we were, or at least it seems like. And they're just so much stronger and quicker, I think.
0-2 to Travis Hafter. I want to ask you quickly, what catches your eye when you watch third baseman today? Who sets the standard for you?
Roland, probably, right now. Roland, I know Scott's hurt right now in Cincinnati, but he's a guy that I like to probably watch more than anybody. I've been given an opportunity to watch him because I was in Cincinnati before I moved to Chicago, so I was able to see him. Of course, managed against him a lot of years, so I think Roland, for me right now, he's probably slowed down a little bit like we all do, but in playing the position, the positioning, how he can throw it from different positions, I just think he sets the standard these days. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of good ones. You just can't have just anybody over there, you know. But and this kid here, I love watching this kid. I guess I heard over the winter though he was done. Well, let's see, hitting about 336 right now. That's pretty good.
Michael's about to get his 2,000th hit.
Yeah, and that's a great feat.
Yeah, sometimes the best transactions are the ones that never happen.
Yeah, that's for sure.
In that case, I don't know where we'd be without Michael this year.
2 more strikeouts, 1, 2, 3 for C.J. Wilson in the 6th. Buddy Bell, great to see you.
Dave, nice to see you. Thanks, Hank. It's always great to see you.
Thank you.
You guys take care. Thank you.
Another Rangers Hall of Famer on a great night. This one's still scoreless. $100 and dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In tonight. The Rangers are hitting for Catherine Mason from Granbury. If a Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Catherine Mason from Granbury will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. And some good candidates here in the Rangers 6th in Young, Cruz, and Napoli. Napoli providing a Sonic Slam winner last night. This first pitch, though, popped up, tracked by Marson, but into the first couple of rows. I think Michael would be pleased and honored to hear the compliment that Buddy Bell just played him. Likes watching him play third.
You know, I think you find that a lot with ex-players, people that have been around the game a lot. When they talk about players that they admire, Michael Young is one of them. You hear that a lot from not just older players like Buddy, but players that are playing the game today, guys that he plays against. Obviously, his teammates feel that way, but that's the way players around the league feel too.
Michael's hit it hard twice tonight. Line to right, singled up the middle. This one hit well to right. Chased by Fukudome, though, into the corner. So Michael still 2 hits from 2,000. Update on Adrian Beltre. Rick Renner reported that he re-aggravated his hamstring. He had an MRI with Keith Meister, the Rangers team doctor. And the hamstring strain, we are told, will now cost Adrian approximately 3 more weeks.
Oh, boy. That couldn't be worse news.
Already been out a couple of weeks. Cruz's 3rd ground ball. He's gone to 3rd, 2nd, and now short.
Well, you're catching Carmona on a night where he's got a good sinker, and he's throwing a lot of strikes, a lot of quality pitches. He came into the game with a 5.31 ERA, but he went on the disabled list a few weeks ago. And since he's come back off the disabled list, this is his fourth pretty solid start. He's throwing the ball well. And he throws his sinker 91 to 94 miles an hour. And it's tough to get it in the air when he keeps it down like that. And you've seen a lot of ground balls. Rangers had some good scoring opportunities in the first 2 innings, especially the second and third, and only one out, but they weren't able to push a run across. If anyone can get the ball up in the air, Mike Napoli can get it up in the air. He just missed one right field his last time up.
First time up, he grounded to short. There have been only 6 outs in the air off of Carmona. Ford leaderboard beginning July 4th. That is when Mike Napoli came off the DL. League leading 429. Michael Young right behind him at 405.
You really get an idea of how that sinker was moving when you saw Marson catch, not that pitch, but the one before it. He had his glove ready for the ball, and then right at the end, he had to move his glove quickly to be able to catch the ball. And that's the late movement that you hear people talk about from time to time. When you see a catcher have to move his glove like that for a fastball, you can tell it's got a lot of sinking action to it.
Strikes out Napoli on that pitch. 1, 2, 3 go the Rangers on 7 pitches, and Carmona gets just his second strikeout. On to the 7th and still scoreless. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines, new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve, big crowd at Rangers Ballpark. Game 2 of the 3 games against the Indians, and we have matching 3-hit shutouts. C.J. Wilson and Fausto Carmona. And in the 7th, it's Santana, Fukudome, and Duncan. 8 strikeouts for CJ, 2 in each of the last 2 innings. Only hits, an infield hit in the first by Kipnis, leadoff double by Santana in the second. CJ then kept him at second base. 3 straight flyouts. And their best threat in the 5th, the 1-out walk to Duncan. A single by Chisenhall, but a fielder's choice and a strikeout got CJ out of that threat. And now at 95 pitches, he's thrown quite a few more than Carmona has.
I think he's going to get a chance to throw about 125 tonight. Be one of those nights where he gets stretched out a little bit after 2 outings where he didn't get stretched out. So he should, and he had an extra day's rest between his last start. So as long as he's throwing the ball well. Hopefully he can have a couple of quick innings and maybe get through 8 innings.
Bullpen so far getting the rest they need tonight.
Well, at least you definitely got through the need for a long reliever. Wahara can certainly pitch tonight. I think Mark can pitch again. I doubt, although I'm sure he would say otherwise, that Mike Adams would be used tonight. He's pitched, I think, 3 times maybe in 4 days, and a couple of times he's thrown a lot of pitches. So I would think, even though he may be available in an emergency, that Ron would rather not.
There is another strikeout for the last 5 batters, 9 for the game. And let's go back to our Fox Sports Southwest studio. Tim Matthews has a McDonald's Dollar Drink Game break. All right, Tim. Fukudome has flied to center and struck out.
What a year Jacoby Ellsbury's having. Red Sox have a lot of guys having big years. No one's been hotter than Pedroia, Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, they brushed aside CC Sabathia.
Yeah.
Just his 6th loss against 16 wins. 1-2 to Fukudome. Other games of interest, the Mariners 2 in the 1st against Tyler Chatwood, 2 more in the 3rd. Angels batting bottom of the 4th, trailing 4-0. Broken bat into the hole goes Andrus, but Fukudome beats out the infield hit. Only the 4th of the game by the Indians, and 2 of them have been infield singles.
Yeah, you don't know how fortunate the people are when that goes through, when this bat goes into the stands. The end of that bat is like a knife, jagged edge. People are watching the game, watching the ball, and all of a sudden here comes a bat that fast, that hard, spinning, and getting out of the way of that. That's great fortune right there that it landed in an aisle.
Yep, a lot of folks with gloves down there too.
Yeah, the glove might help you block it. Not a bad idea to have one.
That is one hard-earned souvenir. One more look at it.
Yeah, that guy in the white hat had no idea it was coming. Sitting down with a couple of drinks. He heard it, but he didn't see it.
In the Seattle Angels game, Blake Bevan 5-hitting the Angels.
I was pretty impressed with Blake Bevan when we saw him pitch against the Rangers in Seattle. A lot of poise on the mound for a young pitcher.
Really only made 1 bad pitch. That was the home run by Moreland.
Yeah. Yeah, he was tough.
It's the only way the Rangers scored off of him that day.
That's one of those trades that's going to obviously worked out well for the Rangers with what Cliff Lee did for the Rangers, but in the long run it's going to work out well for Seattle. Cliff Lee was not going to help them do anything. They were going to finish last with him or without him. So the young players that they got from the Rangers can help them build for the future. Josh Lukey, watched him pitch last night against the Angels. He's got a great arm. Kind of a short reliever. 94-mile-an-hour fastball and a great off-speed pitch. You have to think Justin Smoke will develop into an outstanding offensive player, and then in Blake Bevan you've got a guy that can be in your rotation for a long time. So they're happy with the trade too.
Aaron Oliver now getting up in the bullpen with Wilson right at 105 pitches. Through Monday, you can still lock in postseason options with a Fan's Choice 20-game plan. It's the only way to guarantee your seat for every potential postseason home game. Plus, get the last 20 games of the regular season at 33% off box office prices. Choose from 10 locations starting at only $100 per plan today at TexasRangers.com. That one driven deep, right center field, and it is over Hamilton and off the wall. Here comes Fukudome. He will score the first run of the game, and the Indians take a 1-0 lead. And it's Shelley Duncan. Again, only up because Jack Hanahan is on paternity leave. A home run last night, drives in the first run of the game here with this double.
Well, he drove in a run, and you can't really fault CJ for the hit that Fukudome got. He sawed him off, and all he hit was a little dribbler that turned into an infield hit. And Duncan gets a pitch up and out over the plate that he can drive right there.
Deepest part of the park, right at the 407 sign. Duncan lifted for pinch runner Ezekiel Carrera, who takes over at second base. Carrera last night 0 for 6, but a great job running down drive after drive in center field. So 1-0 Indians. Still only one out. Carrera in scoring position for Chisenhall, who singled his last time up after flying to right in the second. Detroit has beaten Kansas City 4-3 as Justin Verlander goes to 16-5. 13-2 all time now against the Royals, and another save for Jose Valverde. 32 for 32. Jeff Francoeur at his 15th homer for the Royals. So the Indians trying to stay 4 games back of the Tigers in the Central, their biggest deficit of the year. They'll have to win this one to do so. Cleveland tonight with runners in scoring position 0 for 5. Second base for Kinsler. And the second out of the inning advances Carrera to third. So now Marson, number 9 hitting catcher, who's grounded to third and reached on a fielder's choice. Oakland shut out Tampa Bay 8-0 behind Brandon McCarthy, who improves to 5-5. 2 home runs by David DeJesus in that game for the A's. Brandon going 8 innings, 5 hits, struck out 5, didn't walk a batter. Now 5-5, drops his ERA to 3.31. CJ at 110 pitches. He has thrown as many as 129. June 16th at Yankee Stadium. And now 3 balls and no strikes.
It's been a solid start for CJ. You knew what the assignment was, pitch deep into the game, and he's done that. He's pitched well.
But a 4-pitch walk there. And that will complete the evening for CJ. Just his second walk against 9 strikeouts, 1 run on 5 hits. And a very solid return to form after the consecutive off outings against the Twins and the Blue Jays. Well-deserved hand as he gives way to Darren Oliver, who will come in to take on Michael Brantley. In search of the 3rd out of the 7th inning, trying to keep this 1-0. Knight goes 6 2/3 innings. Throws 112 pitches, 69 for strikes. He strikes out 9. Walks 2. And entered the 7th inning working on a 3-hit shutout. And he started with a strikeout of Santana. But then Fukudome reached on the infield hit. Duncan doubled him home after the ground out by Chisenhall. The 4-pitch walk to Marson, ending CJ's night and bringing on Darren Oliver on our Verizon Wireless call to the bullpen.
Yeah, that's a good start for CJ. He threw the ball well. It's a shame the 1 run scored on that hit that Fukudome had, where he just jammed him, made a pitch he was happy with, and a little infield hit. But he pitched deep into the game. Only 1 walk and 9 strikeouts. Can't fault that effort. Rangers just haven't been able to do anything with Carmona yet.
Wilson retired Brantley all 3 times. A fly ball, a bouncer to the mound, and a strikeout.
Balk.
And a balk will bring home Carrera to make it 2-0.
Well, that's a balk you won't see very often.
Also gets Marson to second base. Can you pick it up?
Oh yeah, you'll see it. He dropped the ball. Ball just dropped out of his hand. I don't know that I've seen that one in a long time.
Well, that's also a run charge to Wilson. Brantley now in an RBI opportunity. Oliver worked on Thursday in Detroit. And he came in with 2 runs in, runners at first and second. Popped up the pinch hitter Johnny Peralta. Part of 2 2/3 shutout, 1-hit relief work in support of Alexi Ogando. Alexi, by the way, has left the club for the weekend for paternity leave back in the Dominican. Will return Monday. Will make his next scheduled start, which will be Tuesday against Michael Pineda, in the middle of the 3-game series here against the Mariners. So Darren O'Day brought up, extra arm in the bullpen in Ogando's absence. And a chopper here, short hop throw off the bag, and Moreland now comes home, not in time. Marson comes all the way and makes it 3-0.
A very similar play that the Rangers had in last night's game. Slowly hit ground ball with a man on second. Runner safe at first. Man at second just keeps right on going.
This is an E5 on the throw by Young. Double clutched. Moreland at least knew there might be some play at the plate, unlike Laporta last night. Just didn't really have time to set himself and time to get it there any earlier. So error is now even at 1 apiece. And Wilson's line is now complete with 3 runs, 1 unearned, all charged to him here in the inning. Kipnis.
He said 1 walk. He had 2 walks for CJ. Sorry.
Kipnis flies out to Hamilton. Indians take a 3-0 lead. 2 hits, a walk, and error. Carter Blood Care for the Great American Give. When you give blood to Carter Blood Care in August, you'll automatically be registered for a chance to win a Fox Sports Southwest VIP experience here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Fausto Carmona takes the mound at the bottom of the 7th, leading 3-0. No longer in a dueling 3-hit shutout battle with C.J. Wilson. Bottom third of the order, Moreland, Torrealba, and Murphy. Mitch has walked and grounded to second. Carmona very economical tonight, just 73 pitches, 48 strikes.
Yeah, for some reason, he doesn't pitch well against the Rangers in Cleveland, and he's pitched well against the Rangers in this ballpark. He came into the game, he'd had 3 starts. He was 2-1 with an ERA under 3. Going to lower that tonight, looks like.
Rangers 3 hits. Doubles by Torrealba in the 2nd and the 4th, and a single by Young in the 3rd. And here is base hit number 4 as Moreland serves that one up to Brantley, who moves over from center to left. Carrera staying in the game in center.
Great movement on that pitch. That ball went from left to right several inches, and Mitch hit it toward the end of the bat, but was able to loop it over shortstop for a hit. Rangers need a lot of runs tonight. Need 3 runs against a guy pitching a good ball game.
Well, he has not handled Yorvit Torrealba.
No, he hasn't.
Yorvit, before the game, thought, I might already have a career high in doubles. I checked it. He had exactly equaled his career high in doubles. He had 22 coming in. He also had 22 with Colorado in 07. That was in 113 games. 2 more tonight. And he's got 24 on the year in just his 81st game. 14 doubles in his last 27 games. Pretty much a machine. Many of them because he has become a very consistent opposite field hitter. Night for Torrealba, and back-to-back singles to begin the Rangers' 7th, and David Murphy steps up as the potential tying run at the plate.
They throw him a high sinker right here, and David will just launch one and get those 3 runs back in a hurry.
Pass Chisenhall out to Brantley. Murphy tonight 0 for 2, both with runners in scoring position. He stepped up with 1 out in the 2nd. Moreland at 3rd. Torrealba at 2nd. Fouled out on the first pitch. Torrealba at 2nd, 2 outs in the 4th, and he struck out. Five for his last 12, though, with runners in scoring position. Chopper over second base here, off the glove of Cabrera, and waved home. Mitch Moreland makes it 3-1. Murphy all the way to second base is safe.
That's some good fortune right there. Slowly hit Chopper up the middle, turns into a double. Tying run at second base now. I don't think he had a play, but it certainly would have been better off if he caught it. Would have been bases loaded probably. Nobody out. David just beats the throw. He had 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Tying run on second base.
That is scored as an error on Cabrera at E6.
A tough error right there.
A two-base error.
Well, that cost David a double and an RBI.
th error of the year by Asdrubal Cabrera. So here is Kinsler with the tying runs both in scoring position and nobody out.
And what you want to do here is ideally hit the ball to the right side. You hit a ground ball to second base, you get a run in, and you move the guy to third base. You don't have to hit a double, you don't have to hit a home run, you just have to be effective. Situational hitting right here.
All 3 times tonight, Kinsler is grounded out to Cabrera at short.
That's a good sinker he's got tonight. Still throwing 94 miles an hour. Hitter's goal is to make him get it up and not swing at that pitch down below the knees. Pretty good pitch total, only 81 pitches. I don't think anyone's warming up in the bullpen. They can't see anybody behind that tarp.
Well, nobody is.
And he's still throwing the ball well.
Ian in this position in the second inning, but with 2 outs. And a second ground out. Rangers tonight 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Little number foul, and it's 1-2.
That actually wouldn't have been very. I was hoping that ball would stay fair.
That would have been very useful.
Wouldn't have done much for Ian as far as his batting average goes, but it would have been very effective. It would have scored a run and moved David over to third base.
Three for his last 42. When does his next hot streak begin? That one right near third base coach Dave Anderson. Torrealba at third. On a 3 for 3 night. Murphy at second. There is someone warming now at the Indian bullpen, but they have the tarp up, blocking our view. We will try and figure out who that is. Maybe that starts the Kinsler hitting streak. Torrealba scores. Here comes Murphy, and it's 3-3.
Again, what you're hoping for as a hitter against Carmona is that you get a high sinker that doesn't sink. And Ian battled the good sinkers, fouling them off, and then got one that didn't sink and was up above the knees and drilled that into center field.
Mariacta's got to be thinking, what lead can't these guys erase? 5 runs last night, 3, and it takes just 4 batters to do it here in the 7th inning. Murphy scampers home. And with Tim Belcher, the Indians pitching coach, on the mound, it is left-hander Tony Sipp who is throwing in the bullpen. Boy, Tom, it all turned south very quickly on C.J. Wilson, and the same thing has happened here to Carmona.
Yeah, soft single by Mitch. Torrealba hit a pretty hard ground ball into left field, and obviously the key play was David's. Whether you thought that was a base hit or an error, it's key play. Cabrera couldn't make the play on it, went off his glove. Instead of maybe getting it out, but probably ending up with the bases loaded, nobody out. It was second and third, a run in, and nobody out. And then Ian did a great job of battling the tough pitches and then drilling the good pitch to hit.
Elvis hit by pitch in the first. Thrown out trying to bunt by the third baseman Chisenhall. Tried to bunt his way on leading off the third and popped to second.
Probably be bunting here, but Wash may want to let him go for the hole between first and second. May want to try a little hit and run. Give Ian a chance to run a little bit. Carmona's not real comfortable. Wants Marson to come out to the mound. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, is probably ready by now. You have to think that Sipp would come in to face Hamilton.
Also have right-hander Chad Durbin throwing alongside Sipp now.
Well, Sipp may be situational just for Josh. Like the old Blue Ranger uniform there. Blast from the past.
There goes Kinsler. The throw by Marson, not in time.
Well, that's a straight steal all the way right there. Elvis knew Ian was going. He's taking all the way. And now the bunt might be on to move Ian over to third base. I'm going to argue the call. It was a nice play by Cabrera because the throw from Marson bounced. So he had to catch the hop, which made his glove go up, and then he had to catch it and come down to make the tag. Close play. It's hard to tell whether Ian's hands got the bag before the tag came down on him. I think he's safe. Thought he got his hand in. Tough to tell. Have to defer to Angel Campos on that one. Safe.
Well, he's right on it.
Safe if you're a Ranger. If you're an Indian.
Still safe.
Wow, that's a close one.
Still safe.
That's about as great a shot as you can possibly get, and it's inconclusive. Therefore, the call would stand even with instant replay.
It looked like the camera was mounted on Angel Campos.
That was unbelievable.
Corners are both edge of the grass. Chisenhall at third, Santana at first. Kinsler didn't steal a base, didn't attempt to steal for 25 games in a row, and now back-to-back he has stolen bases each game of this series.
Yeah, good part of the lineup coming up. Elvis get the bunt down right here. All he's got to do is bunt the same bunt that he tried to beat out back in the third inning when he bunted it hard, and Chisenhall made the play on it. Just make that same bunt. You've got to sacrifice. Third baseman has to come in and field it, and when he does, there's obviously no one at third base, and Kinsler just trots into third base.
And nobody has been better in either league at laying down the sacrifices than Elvis this year. One pitch, and that one is foul back.
All right, now you got to go to work. Now you got to put the ball in play. You got to battle. No ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Carmona battling to keep this a 3-3 game. Koji Wahara throwing in the Ranger bullpen.
Good try. Trying to go to right field with it.
It was mentioned again that Elvis hits the Indians like he hits nobody. He's hit in his first 18 games against the Indians at a .420 clip. You have to go back to 1933-34, and Cecil Travis hit in his first 19 games against the Indians. That long. Up the middle, Carmona looks at third, settles for first. Kinsler now 90 feet away.
Good job by Elvis. He got the bat on the ball, hit it on the ground. I think Carmona made the right call, too. At first, I thought he'd have a play, but he didn't want to risk the throw and not get anybody. Elvis is still trying to hit it to the right side. Good job. Right back at Carmona. Ian gets a big jump Let's see what Carmona should have done.
I thought he had a play.
Yeah, I think he had a play. He was afraid of the throw.
Maybe a rookie third baseman, a factor?
No, I don't think so. You know, he got there as quickly as he could. I think Carmona just didn't feel confident that he could get the throw there accurately in time and got the sure out at first.
So that'll do it for Carmona's night, and the left-hander Sip comes in to pitch to Josh Hamilton in a 3-3 game. Go-ahead run 90 feet away with only 1 out. The Mariners fans can enjoy $1 off 16-ounce draft beer, 24-ounce fountain soft drinks, and half-liter bottles of Ozarka water. Get your tickets now at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Well, Josh Hamilton will have a very tough matchup here in Tony Sip, who is allowing a batting average against of only 179 and against left-handers only 159.
Well, that's the good part. He doesn't have to get a hit. All you got to do is hit a fly ball.
Sip, former 45th round draft pick. That's 6 rounds later than Kenny Rogers, 2004. Out of Clemson, Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. And from Pascagoula, Mississippi. Here is Hamilton, 0 for 3. Reached on an error by Kipnis in the first. Has bounced to the mound, fly to left. The Indians play the infield in with Kinsler at third and 1 man out. And Sip coming right after Josh at 93.
He located it pretty well.
6 wins for Sip, tied for the most among American League relievers. 19 holes, tied for third. Josh yet to extend the 10-game hitting streak, but this is when he started to become a factor last night. He is 1 for 2 against Sip. The hit was a home run. That one will definitely get the run home. Brantley is there. Here comes Kinsler, and the Rangers lead it 4-3.
Great job by Josh. He's not trying to do anything but make some contact toward the middle of the field. He took a tough slider, got a fastball similar to the one that he took for a strike on the first pitch, did just what he had to do. Hit a fly ball deep enough to get the run in. Almost the same pitch, a little lower, maybe a little better pitch, really.
RBI number 61 for Hamilton. And the book is closed on Carmona. As Michael Young steps up, 1 for 3 with a couple of hard hit outs to right field.
Goes 6 innings, no one can score. Then it's 4-3 in the 7th inning.
Our Coors Light cold hard blast. Rangers down 2 outs, bottom of the 9th against their closer Chris Perez. And Michael Young sends it to extra innings. At 7-7 with his 10th home run of the year. Down here, 0-2. Wahara ready in the Ranger bullpen. In the Indians' 8th, they'll have the heart of their order: Cabrera, Hafner, and Santana, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Mariners still leading at Anaheim 4-0 in the game that's now in the bottom of the 6th inning. Blake Bevan 6 hitting the Angels. Michael again going to right field, out of play. Through 6, this game was matching 3 hit shutouts by C.J. Wilson and Fausto Carmona. The Indians chase C.J. with 3 runs, 1 unearned in their half of the 7th. Six batters into the Rangers' 7th. They are on top. And it's 2-2 to Young. Angels tonight having no luck with Blake Bevan. Tomorrow they get King Felix Hernandez, which means the Rangers won't have to deal with him. Foul tip, strikes out Michael Young. But the Rangers take the lead. Moreland started it with a single. Torrealba a single. Murphy on the air by Cabrera all the way to second base. Kinsler a 2-run single. And a sacrifice fly by Josh Hamilton, bringing Ian home to make it 4-3 into the 8th. Into the 8th inning, and the new look Ranger bullpen now kicking in after Darren Oliver got the last out of the 7th. Koji Wahara comes on to face Cabrera, Hafner, and Santana here in the 8th. Wahara last worked on Thursday in Detroit. Needed just 3 pitches to retire Maglio Ordonez and get that game into the 8th inning. Rangers ended up winning it 5-2. Over from the Orioles for Tommy Hunter and Chris Davis a week ago today. Cabrera's had a tough night. A strikeout, 2 groundouts, and a costly error.
Well, where was that pitch? Must have been outside.
That one's right in there. It's the 4th outing in a week for Koji in a Ranger uniform. On the year, hitters hitting only 151 against him. And tougher on left-handed hitters than right-handed hitters. Lefties hit just 132 against him. Right-handers 173. Low, and it's 3-2. 4 runs on 6 hits, and errors, 6 left for the Rangers. 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, 5 left for the Indians. That is not what Wahara wanted to do at all. Walk the leadoff man, put the tying run aboard. And let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Time for the Ranger fan of the game, and it has to be this guy. They call himself the Wookiee. Comes all the way in from Amarillo. Big-time Ranger fan. Room for the Rangers all game long. Wookiee, anything you want to say, big guy?
I've been way out here all night for the Texas Rangers!
We also, congratulations, bring in the case of Ozarka water. Congratulations, Ranger fan of the game. Let's root those Rangers out here. Here we go.
Tom?
All righty now.
I got a question for you. It's 106 degrees. It's the hottest game in the history of the ballpark. But you tell yourself when you're about to leave home, I think I'm going to wear my Wookiee suit tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that one for you. I know I wouldn't tell myself that's what I was going to do, but got him on TV.
Got him on with Jim Knox.
Got him some Ozarka water.
He should need about a case to have even survived at this point. Darren O'Day just up. Extra arm in the bullpen with Alexi Ogando on the paternity leave list. And Ron Washington said he could, if need be, get as many as 2 innings out of Darren. But right now it's Wahara against Hafner, who has struck out twice and flied to left.
I think the last thing you expect with Wahara is a leadoff walk.
Only his 9th walk in 49 1/3 innings. And he picked him off at first base.
He picked him off first. Wow. Wow.
Kenny Rogers would be proud of that, Tom.
Lead off walk and pick him off. You know, that's such a weapon. You see Tateyama has a quick pickoff move, and look how quick that move is, and look how accurate the throw is. Only way you can get him is you have to throw it right on his hand, and that's where the throw was. Wow, big play.
Great call by DJ Rayburn, because it was close. And now 1-2 to Hafner. No argument from Manny Acta.
No, Manny Acta's got to be going, man. Score 3, they score 4, get the leadoff man on, he gets picked off.
What has he got to do to beat this team? 0-5 this year. 3-17 the last 3 years. Wahara still with some challenges to face here in the 8th. After then Santana, who has doubled in 3 trips. Mike Adams, according to Wash, unavailable today. Scott Feldman unavailable today and tomorrow anyway, regardless of what happens with his blister. Hard charging from short right. Kinsler still throws out Hafter by a good 4 steps.
That's a fun play to watch right there. The second baseman sprinting in from right field to make the play on a slowly hit ball. I don't think Ian's had to make that play very often. Off speed pitch, off the end of the bat. Ian's making sure no one beats that play out.
Oh, he got a guy who really doesn't run well in Hafner, so he's 0 for 4. Here's Santana now, double to lead off the second. Some of the best pitching of the night, followed by C.J. Wilson. He's got 3 straight fly ball outs. Next 2 times up, Wilson struck him out swinging. Six of the first 13 pitches balls from Wahara.
The exact same pitch.
High strike again. It's 1-2. Climbs the ladder to finish off Santana. He takes the hat trick. Wahara works around the leadoff walk with the pickoff, the ground out, and the strikeout. Style by striking out Carlos Santana.
High fastball, and he is pumped. He's got good energy, boy. Great body language on the mound.
I can't wait to see him in the postseason.
You gotta like that energy, boy.
Oh, that is infectious.
I love that.
You have to. Well, Neftali Feliz, who has been pretty busy lately, up in the bullpen. Meanwhile, it's Frank Herman, Right-hander on for the 24th time this year, their third pitcher. And he'll face Cruz, Napoli, and Moreland here in the Ranger eighth. Herman began the year with the Indians. They optioned him to AAA Columbus a couple of weeks into the season. Up now for his third stint. And Cruz 0 for 8 in this series. 4 strikeouts last night, 3 groundouts. The third, second, and short tonight. Herman follows 6 1/3 by the starter Carmona. 4 runs, 1 unearned, 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 1, hit a batter, sipped 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. Two unearned runs for Carmona. And now Herman with the 1-1 pitch, and Cruz sends that high and well out of play.
Some good arms in the Indians bullpen. Herman 94 with that last pitch. We saw Pistano, Smith, Chris Perez all throwing in well into the 90s. You got good arms out there. Tony Sipp's got a good arm, pitching great as a lefty. One of their strengths been their bullpen.
Well, Feliz will be ready for the ninth. Last night got his first win of the year. Worked an inning in 2/3. And also worked the last game of the Detroit series on Thursday. 1-2-3 ninth for his 22nd save. So getting ready to work for the third straight night. You wouldn't object to an insurance run or two. Mariners have added an insurance run. Robinson home run in the 7th. They now lead the Angels 5-0. As Cruz grounds out for the 4th time. Baseball fans, Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com.
Be careful with that. Do some damage on a knee or a head. Boy, he's into it.
He's got his swing down. He's ready to pinch hit.
That's not a plastic bat he's swinging either.
Been an unusual night for Mike Napoli in that he is 0 for 3, a ground out, a fly to right, and a strikeout. 9-game hitting streak coming in at .459.
That little guy's mind, he's in the game right now. He's out there hitting. Getting a low strike. I wish I could read his mind.
He's got a whole routine.
He's concentrating, boy. Talking to himself, announcing the game.
Like to see him swing that good here from Mike. 2 balls and a strike. Did he just call a shot? And there it goes.
That's what he's thinking.
Right past Napoli at 94, 2-2. Good swing comparison here. Time for you to analyze.
Well, the guy on the right has a little more power, but the kid on the left is just as intense, it looks like.
And Herman thought he had Napoli looking there.
Herman definitely not getting a low strike in this at bat. Wow. I'll say he's not getting a low strike. There's about 5 of them right there.
Oh, right off Marson's face mask there. Comes up smiling.
Oh, catcher to catcher right there. Oh, boy.
Were you ever even tempted to play catcher?
I caught in high school.
Really?
I wasn't tempted to do it. I was told to do it. I didn't have a choice.
Pop up right side of the infield. Second baseman Kipnis for the second out. Well, I assume you liked it so much that you played left field in the majors.
Yeah, I liked it so much I couldn't wait not to do it anymore. No, you know, in high school you play different positions, you pitch, you play wherever they need somebody. So, I mean, I have to say I enjoyed it, but I didn't envision myself doing it much after that.
Pitch Moreland has walked grounded to second, and he kicked off the 7th inning rally with a leadoff single off of Carmona. At the time, only the 4th Ranger hit of the night. Torrealba followed with a single. Murphy reached on the 2-base error by the shortstop Cabrera, mishandling his grounder over second base. Then the 2-run single by Kinsler. And he came home on the sacrifice fly by Hamilton to complete the Rangers' 4-run rally from 3-0 down after the top of the 7th. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Indians. Their 6, 7, and 8 hitters will be due. Fukudome, Carrera, and Chisenhall are scheduled. And Feliz is ready. Angels finally have a run against the Mariners. They scored in the bottom of the 7th. Game now in the top of the 8th at Angel Stadium. 5-1 Seattle. The Rangers try to get a 2-game lead after leading for 4 straight games by exactly 1 over LA. Ground ball, and it'll be Santana unassisted. Herman comes in and works a 1-2-3-8. And now Feliz to try and nail down another 1-run win. Ninth inning with the Rangers leading 4-3. Feliz working for the third straight day. He faced 4 batters last night. He got 2 double play grounders, one to end the 10th and a big one in the 11th. Allowed only an infield single by Brantley. And here in the 9th, he's got Fukudome to lead things off in search of his 23rd save.
It'd be great if Neffy could come in and pitch just like he did last night. Come in with that good fastball, throw strikes. Gotten through the toughest part of the lineup, at the bottom of the lineup, but still, got big league hitters you have to get out right here.
Since his last blown save, July 26th against Minnesota, Feliz has retired 9 of the 10 batters he has faced, striking out 3 of those. And Fukudome goes right after the first pitch. He's flied to center, struck out, reached on an infield single, which keyed their 3-run rally, chasing C.J. Wilson to the top of the 7th. He has faced Feliz twice. He is 0 for 2. And down 0-2 as Feliz again comes in throwing hard right from the get-go. 97 miles an hour there. On Thursday, he had a very stress-free 9th inning. Struck out Guillen at Benabeat. Got Rayburn to ground out. Finishing off Alexio Gando's 5-2 win. All the runs in this game scored in the 7th. Indians took charge with their 3. Rangers came right back and raised them 1. Breaking ball just missed. 2-2. He is not done yet. 3-2. Well, Wahara walked the leadoff man in the 8th, but erased that by picking off as Drubal Cabrera.
Yeah, we're not going to go there in the 9th.
That would not be the preferable route for Feliz here. Well hit deep right center field, and Cruz had it and lost it. Fukudome will stop at second base, and the Indians have the tying run in scoring position. Almost a tremendous running catch by Cruz out there.
Boy, he had to go a long way too, and he got to the ball.
And the looks of things, really thinks he should have held on to it too.
He had it in his glove. It just came out as he was getting ready to brace himself against the wall. Yeah, Fukudome definitely not known for his power, but about as far as he can hit one right there. You know, Neffy got ahead of him, no balls and 2 strikes, let him back into the count, and just made him a little bit more confident and aggressive, looking for a fastball. 3-2.
Boy, Wash thought he had that one as well. So 3 chances now for the Indians to tie it up, as Carrera bats for the first time. He came on to pinch run after Duncan's RBI double in the 7th and scored on the balk by Oliver. Last night 0 for 6. It's the bunt. Feliz only the play at first. So 1-3 on the sacrifice. Fukudome now 90 feet away with 1 out.
There's a lot of times a visiting manager wouldn't play for a tie because the home team has the next at bat. But I think in this game, they're willing to play for a tie because they know their bullpen is in a little bit better shape than the Rangers. The Rangers have used their two key guys now, Wahara, Feliz. Adams not available. I think Maniactus senses that. Oliver's already pitched. So in a tie game, he would feel pretty good because they've got a little bit more rested bullpen than the Rangers do right now. So the Rangers have to do, Feliz has to do, is get Chisenhall right here. Don't let that tying run score.
Rangers infield playing in. Chisenhall 1 for 3, a single back in the 5th off Wilson. And the fans not real happy with the Darrell Cousins strike zone here, but he's been tight on both ends tonight, both the Indians and the Rangers.
I don't think those are strikes that they're arguing about. That ball is not even close to being a strike.
Right through that one at 97. What a spot for a rookie. First round pick 3 years ago. Their #1 prospect entering this year.
Well, Mac was talking about it when he was up here, that you throw the ball out over the plate, you give him a better chance to extend his arms and make contact. The last pitch was more up and in.
'98 with strike 2. $38,210 now behind Neftali Feliz. Base hit, tie game. A 99-mile-an-hour fastball, and the rookie Chisenhall drives it to right, and it is 4-4. And the 6th blown save of the year for Neftali Feliz.
You get the middle of the plate, and you give the hitter a much better chance to hit it. Doesn't matter whether it's coming in 91, 99. Throwing a couple of balls by him, but not in the center of the plate like that.
Now Marson, who was grounded out, reached on the fielder's choice, walked and scored. So Feliz working the 3rd straight game. And he got ahead of Fukudomi, then worked the count full, and Nelson Cruz not quite able to haul in his drive in deep right center. Sacrificed to third by Carrera. Chisenhall, 99-mile-an-hour fastball at 1-2.
99-mile-an-hour fastball, but right in the center of the plate. The other thing that the Indian hitters know is they're going to get a fastball. He's only thrown one off-speed pitch. It wasn't close to being a strike. And so if you're Chisenhall, there's no question in your mind what the pitch might be. You don't have to worry about a splitter, a curveball. You're just looking for a fastball all the way, and you can gear it up to hit a 99-mile-an-hour fastball when you get a pitch that's located near the center of the plate like that.
Well, as loud as this place was a couple of minutes ago, that's how quiet it has become now. There's an off-speed strike, 1-2. Well, looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, Torrealba, Murphy, and Kinsler are the scheduled Ranger hitters.
That was a pretty good formula in the 7th inning.
Off speed again. Hard charging Cruz makes this catch. So 2 outs. And at the top of the order in Michael Brantley. Brantley tonight is 0 for 4. Reached on an error by Young. back in the 7th. Well, we would expect to see Chris Perez again, the Indian closer.
Maybe not in a tie game.
If they get ahead here, but he was up and just sat down. But if they are able to get Chisenhall home, he would be ready, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Brantley. Joe Smith now up. He pitched the 7th inning last night and retired Hamilton, Young, and Cruz in order. Three and 0 to Michael Brantley. Ron Washington's bullpen the last 2 games were 12 innings, allowed 1 run on 7 hits, 9 strikeouts by all 7 relief pitchers. So not all 7 obviously available today. Oliver and Wahara did their jobs. Feliz stumbling here in the 9th. About to throw his 21st pitch. He'll need at least 22. Blake Evans still in the game in Anaheim, bottom of the 8th, leading 5-1. Just struck out Bobby Abreu. The other game still going in the American League. Brantley stays alive, extends Feliz's inning even further. Yoshi Tateyama, latest up in the Ranger bullpen.
Wahara, Adams, Feliz, Tateyama, they've been throwing a lot in the last 5 days. Bullpen's getting a lot of work.
Well, they needed Wilson to go deep into the game. He got 6 2/3 in for 112 pitches. Might well have been high for ball 4, but Brantley again fouls it back. Wilson in his 6 2/3, 2 earned runs, 3 runs total on 5 hits, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. After lasting just 7 2/3 in his last 2 starts combined. '24th pitch of the inning, and he'll need at least another one. Tom, it's been another inning where Feliz has not had enough swings and misses. He got a couple in the Chisenhall at bat, but not the 3rd.
Yeah, I thought he had a shot to strike out Chisenhall if he made a good pitch with his fastball. You know, maybe one up and out of the strike zone, maybe one in where the other ones were, but the one he threw him had great velocity on it, but it was right near the center of the plate. And they're looking fastball all the way.
9th pitch at the at-bat, and that is going to go all the way to the wall. And here comes Chisenhall around 3rd. Throw to the plate. He is safe. And the Indians lead it 5-4. as Brantley wins that battle with an RBI double.
Yeah, he's pitching basically with one pitch, and they're going up there and they're getting the bat started, and they're getting out ahead of it. And you know, when you locate it again right around the middle of the plate, velocity is insignificant unless you're throwing something else to keep them off your fastball. For instance, Wahara has the great splitter, and that kind of keeps them off his fastball.
Kinsler's relay made this play close. Torrealba doing what he could, but Chisenhall just able to get that foot in, and so that will do it for Neftali Feliz, who leaves with his 6th blown save. Tateyama will come on with Kipnis due up. It all begins at 7 p.m. with Friday Football Live and finishes at midnight with High School Scoreboard Live at midnight. That's 6 straight hours of coverage every Friday night only on Fox Sports Southwest. Well, the Rangers' 5th pitcher of the night, 4th out of the bullpen, is Yoshinori Tateyama, who will try to keep this a 1-run game. Yoshi last night worked the 6th inning. Gave up a leadoff single to Shelley Duncan, who was caught stealing. He got Kearns to line out and struck out Jason Donald. Here he's got Jason Kipnis, who is 1 for 4, couple of strikeouts, infield single back in the first. 5-4 Cleveland, 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 doubles off of Feliz. And Brantley, an insurance run in scoring position, as the 69-mile-an-hour curve in there for strike 1. That one is driven high and deep to right field, and Cruz watches this one sail out of here. Jason Kipnis with a 2-run home run has made it a 3-run Indian lead.
Yeah, he took the off-speed pitch, and then he jumped on the inside fastball, trying to throw that ball down and away. You can see how far he missed the target from where Torrealba had his glove originally. Tried to throw it down and away, and got it up and in.
Strike 1 to Cabrera, 390 feet on the home run by Kipnis, his 5th. of his rookie year. Left field, long run. Murphy can't get there, and another base hit. Cabrera's first of the night. The 5th hit of the 9th inning by the Indians. Fukudomi started it with the double off the glove of Cruz. Leading off the inning in a 3-2 pitch from Feliz, sacrificed to third by Carrera. Chisenhall singled him in. Arson flied out. 3 straight batters have reached since that second out was recorded. Brantley the RBI double. Kipnis the homer. Now Cabrera with the single. And Travis Hafner 0 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts. We'll try to keep this top of the 9th going. All the Indians' runs in the 7th and the 9th. Rangers keep the Hafner shift on, and last time he grounded out to Kinsler, playing pretty well out there in right field, where he is again. For these last 3 games, Rangers needed 4 relievers Thursday, 5 last night, 4 again here tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt the bullpen has been used a lot.
So looking ahead to tomorrow night as Darren O'Day now gets up.
That's why there's so much responsibility on the starting pitcher, day in and day out, to pitch into the 6th or 7th inning so you don't get in this situation. The starting pitcher has a slow day like that, where they're out there early, out of the game early. It puts a lot of pressure on the bullpen.
Hafner again thrown out by Kinsler as he breaks his bat. Indians send 8 men to the plate, score 3 runs on 5 base hits. Torrealba, Murphy, and Kinsler in the Ranger ninth. By Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout days. And by your Texas Ford dealers, check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Dave Barnett and Tom Grieve. Chris Perez gets another chance. Last night, he came on in the 9th inning. With a 2-run lead, he retired Kinsler and Andrews, gave up a single to Hamilton, and then the game-tying 2-run home run by Michael Young. Just his 3rd blown save of the year. He's got Torrealba leading off the Ranger ninth on a 3-hit night, 2 doubles. Last time up he singled and scored one of the Rangers' 4 in the 7th. One and one to Torrealba. Angels in the bottom of the ninth, down to their last out. Brandon League on in relief of Blake Bevan. Mariners trying to finish off a 5-1 win, so if the Rangers don't mount another rally, they will still have the 1-game lead over the Angels, and that game is now over. Seattle has won it 5-1. Blake Bevan improves to 3-2, ERA of 2.83. Tyler Chatwood, the loser, 6-8. Opposite field shot there by Torrealba. The Indians hang on. They will stay within 4 of Detroit, which won at Kansas City 4-3. Justin Verlander improving his record to 16-5. Right field, but it stays up for Fukudome. 1 out of the Ranger ninth. That'll bring up Murphy. David tonight 0 for 3, fouled out, struck out, reached on an error. A 2-base error by Cabrera really fueled the Rangers' 7th inning. Murphy and then Ian Kinsler. Chris Perez has not had very many 3-run leads. He is 2 for 2 saving games in which he takes them out up 3. Still 1-2 to Murphy. Tomorrow night, 3rd game of the series, 7:05 again here on Fox Sports Southwest, and the Rangers will need Colby Lewis to go deep into that game. His 3rd chance at his 11th win. Josh Tomlin out of Tyler and Texas Tech will be the starter for Cleveland. He's emerged as their ace this year. He's 11-5. Murphy barely staying alive. Rangers didn't see Tomlin in their trip 2 months ago to Cleveland, but they will tomorrow night.
Well, the Ranger bullpen really being in pretty much the same situation tomorrow night that it was tonight. Feldman can't pitch, but you've got Darren O'Day. Mark Lowe could pitch.
That one is just foul.
So it'll be, you're right. It's going to be another night where the starter's expected to go deep into the game.
Well, you think you would definitely do without Feliz now, who struggled working his 3rd straight day. Adams should be available again tomorrow. O'Day, Oliver just worked the 2 batters. O'Hara just worked 1 inning. Scott Feldman's blister, they're going to check in a couple days, and he is going to have tonight and tomorrow off anyway after throwing 3 1/3 last night. 46 pitches. Murphy making Chris Perez work here. It's the 9th pitch of the at bat. And this is now the only game going in either league.
A little bit of everything on that Fox Tracks. Down and in, up and away.
Murphy has fouled off 6 straight pitches. Left field, and that one stays up for Brantley. Looked like he fought the lights a little bit, but he hangs on for out number 2. And the Rangers' final hope to ignite another bottom of the 9th rally is Ian Kinsler.
There's a concentration on Brantley as he's looking at the lights, anticipating the ball is going to come out of the lights and hoping that he's in position to catch the ball when it does.
Well, Ian, right in the middle of that Ranger 4-run 7th inning, a 2-run single, a stolen base. And he scored on the sacrifice fly by Hamilton, which put the Rangers up 4-3. We'll get a 2-0 pitch. The 19th pitch of the inning by Perez coming. Indians trying to beat the Rangers for the first time this year in 6 meetings. 3-0.
2 men on and Josh comes up. Last night there was 2 outs. They needed 1 base runner for Michael Young. Tonight they need 2 for Josh.
Ian thought that perhaps a bit inside.
Well, good pitch.
That is low, and the Rangers keep the 9th inning going for Elvis Andrus. Elvis aboard only the hard way, beamed in the first inning. Took a Carmona fastball off the left ear flap. Only down for a few seconds, though. Since then, 0 for 3, nothing out of the infield. And Kinsler allowed second base on defensive indifference.
Keep putting the pressure on him to throw strikes. He'll feel some pressure if he walks Elvis right here with Josh coming up.
Perez has a fairly high walk ratio. Tough inside strike there, and it's 1-2, and the Rangers are down to their last strike.
Close, borderline pitch. If you're the hitter, you definitely don't think it's a strike.
So 2 outs, the 1-2 pitch. Base hit to right field. Kinsler will come home. It's 7-5, and the Rangers will get the tying run to the plate, and it'll be Josh Hamilton.
Yep, that's what you're looking for, just a chance. Just have that at bat as the tying run, and Rangers have it now.
inside out swing by Elvis. It was now hit in all 19 games he's ever played against Cleveland. Just past Santana's dive. Hamilton tonight 0 for 3, a sacrifice fly off of Sip back in the 7th. And Perez starts him off speed. Last night he singled on a 1-0 pitch. And again, the Rangers down to their last strike. Hamilton, and then another hero from 24 hours ago. Young would be next. Last night, Josh's 3rd career walk-off. First 2 were homers. Last night, an infield single did the job. Fouls off the fastball. This will be Perez's 30th pitch. You got to give some credit here to David Murphy for fouling off all those pitches before finally becoming the second out.
Yeah, the Rangers made it tough, are making it tough on them. Long at bats, good at bats. Comes the 30th pitch.
And that one knocked down by Chisenhall. No play. Everybody's safe. Michael Young will come to the plate. An infield hit for Hamilton. Again.
He knocked it down, and you know, in that particular case it doesn't really matter whether it goes into the outfield or whether he knocks it down. Josh is going to have a single anyway.
Well, here comes Manny Acta, who last night saw Michael Young send the game to extra innings with his 2-out, 2-run home run. He's got Perez at 30 pitches. Last night, Michael ahead of the count 2-0. Said he was just trying to make contact, not looking for a home run, but that's exactly what he got. And then in the 11th, Andrews at second, a bunt single, the wild pitch. Hamilton safe at first. Laporta turns to look at the umpire. Elvis running all the way around from second. And he said he knew as soon as he glanced at first and saw Laporta even look at the umpire, game over. So Acta again giving Perez another shot here at Michael Young.
You got the outfield playing extremely deep. They don't want a double that would score the tying run, and it's Josh Hamilton with speed at first. And they're trying to play deep enough to be able to cut the ball off so it's not a double. And they can do it in the gap. Not much they can do if it's hit down the line, though.
Goes after the first pitch here. That is deep. Is it fair? Foul ball. Well, that sent a little thrill through 38,000. Too much slice. Joe Smith is up again.
We're going to give him one more batter, see if he can get the save.
Wild pitch. Both runners move up into scoring position. Now you got Andrews at third, Hamilton at second.
Yeah, now you got to move the outfield in. You can't play deep now. You bloop one in front of a deep outfield, it's a tie game. Wild pitch played a huge part in yesterday's win. Maybe it'll play a huge part today. That slider was way outside.
And last night it was Rafael Perez who got Elvis in the scoring position in the 11th with his wild pitch. Now Elvis at third, Hamilton at second. And a young base hit can tie it up. Ground ball, Cabrera. And tonight, the Indians hang on. No ninth inning rally. No miracle comeback. As the Indians take their first win in 6 tries this year against the Rangers with their 4-run ninth inning. Spelling the difference. So this one goes to Cleveland 7-5. They even the series at a game apiece. One more tomorrow night. Rangers live on the other side.